Chris Mitchell. And we get underway at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Lawrence up very early. They crash to the floor, and look at the players coming in here. No decisive possessions yet, but plenty of bruises handed out already in the space of 10 seconds. And you can tell, I reckon, from that, where you can throw a blanket over about 22 players, that the Swans are going to have their red-hot go, Pete.
Well, they're pretty switched on, both sides. Oh, look at that. Gary Ayres coming through the pack. Hand pull out wide. This is Strooper around the corner to half forward. Langford in front. The ball hits the deck. Morrissey races after it. He's got a couple to beat. Lawson being one of them. Platten. Ben Allen. Now Paul Cooper at half back. Oh, flattened as he kicked it. Paul Hudson wrestling hard. Now it's Leon Higgins trying to get onto his left foot. Now that could be a free kick to Collins, and it is.
Andy Collins in the Victorian State squad for Tuesday's game against Western Australia. The kick doesn't cover a lot of distance up towards half forward. Anderson has it knocked away. It goes to Tunbridge, who's been a star this year. Neil Cordy, nice to see him back playing. And nice to see Minton Connell back, and he'll enjoy delivery like that. Simon Minton Connell from 55 metres. Strooper! Good mark!
Was excellent play there by Strooper. He could see that Gary Ayres was coming back, pushed him in the chest as he was coming back to contest. And Strooper took a strong mark, but on a very tight angle. He is a leading goal kicker for the Sydney Swans with 20 goals for the season.
Point blank range, but a narrow gap. Strooper goals. Swans first on the board.
Strooper started off in the centre square and then raced down to that forward line once Sydney gained possession of the ball. Minton Connell playing at full forward. You see this in replay. There's the mark. He sees Ayres coming at him, just pushed him in the chest, kept him out of the contest. And a good tumbling mark in the end by Strooper, a former Fitzroy player. A fairly tight angle, but not much distance here to make up.
Great start to Sydney. Lawrence versus Tunbridge, looking forward to that clash. There's Ben Allen shuffling the ball out of the centre. Up towards half forward. Tony Hall runs straight at the ball. Caught is Tunbridge. Loses it to Platten. Pritchard working hard in the pack. As players pouncing on top of him, a hurry kick comes up towards Dean Anderson. Anderson, Ben Allen. Still going Ben Allen. On to Platten, magnificent play. Platten kicks in a goal, and the Hawks kick their first.
Well, there's a replay by Hawthorn. Very competitive early in this match. Just had the numbers at the ball, just pushing it forward. So many players around there. Pritchard on the bottom of the pack trying to get it out. A pack of about 15 players around the ball there. Very congested early in the match. You see the numbers getting there, and in the end, Platten with his run, he made himself available, received the hand pass and kicked that very good goal.
So a goal apiece. Lawrence wins in the middle. Kapler across the ground. Here's Stevens, a first gamer. Cooper, his man. Brunton. Play by Brunton. Mew playing just his second senior game this year. Kicked by Chris Mew to half forward. Ball flies, can't mark. Bayes gets back there, loses control of it. Cordy pulled off it. Pritchard, snap for goal. It's got a bit of distance, this. And just beats Dunkley and through from behind, which puts the Hawks in front by that point.
David Murphy and Craig Nettlebeck on the bench. Mark Bayes has been a tremendous player for the Swans over a number of years, and he's a beautiful kick, as evidence there as that kick finds McGovern, a highly skilled player, Andrew McGovern, around the corner. He was looking for Kapler, but it beat him over the line.
It's not a great kick there by McGovern. He's trying to sneak that one around the corner, looking for the lead of Kapler.
Half forward line for the Hawks. Been a pretty strong opening by both sides. That was McGovern looking for Mitchell. Barry Mitchell, a very high possession getter on the left foot. The centre wing, Jarman, the flyer, brilliant mark.
Well, great skills, hasn't he, Pete? I know you commented the other week that he's the most skilled player in the competition.
Platten's been prominent early. He's buried here in a good tackle by Stevens. It spills to Lewis. Open territory, up inside the 50. Only two players there. And Langford gets it away from Minton Connell. Comes to Condon. His left footer short of half forward. Hudson. His marksman is Brunton. He slips away from him, skirts the boundary line. Paul Hudson looks for Dunstall. He's got it right in front.
Oh, gee, I thought he was going to signal a push in the back there for a minute, Pete.
Made to order for him, wasn't it? A great kick by Paul Hudson. Magnificent kick.
A centering kick with a little nudge out by Dunstall. One of those borderline cases.
Dunstall kicks his 62nd goal for the year.
There's Jason Dunstall. Hawthorn off to a good start in this match. 2 goals won, leading Sydney 1 goal. But Dunstall, let's have a look at that mark again, Pete. Let's see what you think. Good play there by Hudson. He started off on the bench last week, dashing around that boundary line, assisted by a slip there from McGovern. A little push out, maybe. Well, could have gone either way. I think the umpire was thinking about playing a free kick for a little nudge in the back.
Well, a trademark goal, that by Jason Dunstall. That little nudge just helped him get rid of Dunkley and a goal to the Hawks. Tunbridge actually won that tap out. Here's Paul Kelly, who's a great worker for the Swans as he kicks it down towards the full back line. Well played by Langford to go to the line, and he puts it over.
There's a Sydney player down in a bit of pain. I think it's Strooper behind the play after that centre bounce.
Strooper, the only goal kicker for the Swans so far, and their leading goal kicker for the year, so they don't need to lose David Strooper.
He looks to be in a lot of trouble too, Drew. They're calling for a stretcher, I think, or the trainer signalling that he has to come off.
All Hawthorn back in defence. Lawrence back to Collins. Kicked by Collins out to half-back flank. Jarman. Holmes, his man. Holmes has had a pretty good year. Off the ground, goes to Platten. Kicked by Platten over centre wing. Cordy and Deere. Neither of them got near the ball after the jostling. Pushing the back on McGovern. Crowd wanted it, nothing doing. Ball out of play.
Yes, Drew. Strooper straight off the ground. He's in a lot of trouble. Can hardly put his feet to the ground. He's being assisted by the trainers. And in a fair amount of pain, David Strooper.
Well, that will be a costly blow. He's been playing up on the centre line, not in the goal square, with the return of Simon Minton-Connell. Ayres has been his marksman, but he's already kicked a goal. Strooper. Centre of the ground. Swans go forward. Lawrence is back there, and the ball goes out of play.
Nettle back on for the Sydney Swans, Drew.
Stephen Lawrence now doing all the ruck work for the Hawks. Greg Deere played in the earlier game, which Hawthorn won 25-15 to 16-20. Ray Jenke also played in that game, and Chris Whitman. So the Hawks, well, they've got plenty of depth. There's Anthony Condon, loses it to Barry Mitchell, and the little rover brings it in towards the pocket. Minton-Connell, great attempt. In fact, he's marked.
A good player, isn't he, Minton-Connell?
He is, and they were terribly unfortunate, the Swans, to lose Minton-Connell for all those weeks, Bernie.
Yes, he provides a good target at full forward.
Well, that's rotten luck for the Swans, losing David Strooper, and going straight to the dressing rooms is not a good sign. Simon Minton-Connell kicking for his first from 45 metres across the face, and helped on its way by Gowers and a behind of the Swans. But he'll make an enormous difference after a couple more games. 2-1 to 1-1. The Hawks lead. There's David Strooper.
Oh, he's in a lot of trouble, isn't he, Pete?
Doug Coleman, the Swans physiotherapist, in attendance.
Kick in by Ayres, who's found himself a new role back in the back pocket after the disappearance of Strooper. Punch forward, goes to Morrissey. Morrissey over the centre of the ground. Ball underneath it this time. Mark to Higgins. Kick by Higgins to half forward. Good delivery, but Minton-Connell was swamped. Pritchard. Mitchell, a great tackle. No whistle on the play. Comes to Stevens, the first gamer from outside 50. Offline with that one. Out to the left forward pocket. Lawrence, he's got a bit of time. Now he runs out of time. Gowers. Minton-Connell tries to keep it in. And that'll be a throw in about 35 metres around from goal.
Lewis in a little bit of trouble after that last kick from Higgins with that very savage spoil from Chris Langford.
Rose, number 22, and Tunbridge flew over the top of the pack. Down goes Platten, holding the ball.
Gee, that's sudden death, isn't it? I mean, he just grabbed the ball. Look, he's saying the same thing. You've got to give a man some chance to get rid of it, Drew.
Well, he tried to charge his way through, Pete.
You think so?
He did try to charge his way through, and the umpire, if the player has any sort of opportunity to get it to his boot, and doesn't do that, then
Well,
the
that's
umpire
the
does
question.
play the free
Yeah, I
kick.
agree. That's the question. Did he have the opportunity?
Craig Nettlebeck for goal. Gary Ayres on the mark, only about 25 metres from goal. This should be the Swans' second to level the scores. We might have hooked it. What a miss that is.
Yes, that's a bad miss by Nettlebeck from 30 metres. Let's have a look at it again now. Platten's got it.
We could
Bang.
see the tackle coming, and I think he braced himself for it, Pete, and didn't try to get rid of the ball.
Well, I thought it was a bit stiff. Nevertheless, it was not a goal anyway. 5 points the margin. Chris Langford about to bring it back into play. Normally a great kick. He brings it up the centre. Condon flies from behind, can't take the mark. This is Kaplan with pace on the right foot in towards full forward. Langford in front, over the back. Platten working overtime. We'll look for Mew. Mew makes the lead out towards the half back line. It sits for him. He can go to Condon or he can kick it long. He elects to bring it long. Back to centre wing. Paul Deere had 2 to beat. The Swans, almost a throw. Dennis Carroll straight to Platten. Is he having a good game? Goes to ground, gets in a hand pass. Oh, that's in the back to Anderson. Let go. Here's Lawrence trying to crash his way through. Now it's Gary Ayres going back. Platten will be caught. No, he gets it away. Around the corner goes Dean Anderson. Andrew Collins waits underneath and takes the mark.
At centre wing for the Hawks. They've got men unmarked in the centre of the ground. Anderson's one of them. Dunstall leads. What beautiful delivery. He'll kick 25 if this goes on.
Yes, that's where they have to put on the pressure, the Sydney Swans players like Anderson, Condon, their running players. They must be stopped in the centre of the ground. That easy delivery. No pressure at all from Anderson with that kick.
Dunstall already with 1. Looking for Hawthorn's 3rd. There's another one. Well, it's beautiful to watch, isn't it? You two full forwards must be lapping this up.
Yeah, it's great to see a good full forward in action, playing in a great team, Hawthorn. We see this in replay, and that's where they must pick up. A kick there coming from Condon, in fact, hitting Dunstall right on the chest. He's already kicked over 700 goals, Dunstall. They could have a big day today.
19 plays 8 as Holmes kicks it to the half-forward line, almost a mark. In fact, the free kick has been paid against Stevens, and it will go to Paul Cooper, who is keeping Ray Jenke out of the side with his good form. Paul Cooper now, he's chipping it in short to Condon, starting to create a few loose men, the Hawthorn players. Condon to centre wing, Hall at the back, Hudson also. Now it's Mitchell. Around the corner goes Mitchell, but Ayres chips back. After a best on ground performance last week against Melbourne, he'd be feeling pretty confident, Gary Ayres. It's a wobbly kick to the half-forward line. Paul Deere underneath, but a terrific mark by Cordy from behind.
He's very strong overhead, Pete, coming back after dislocating a shoulder in that first match of the season against the West Coast Eagles.
Yeah, playing just his 3rd game for the year. McGovern can't take the mark. Can pass away. And now Paul Kelly for the Swans, running away from Anderson. The kick by Kelly. Stevens, good effort, was pushed in the back or held, said the umpire. Free kick Stevens.
Yes, good effort, wasn't it? He was being held, Drew. I think he was claimed by one arm by Cooper. We have a look at this in replay. There he is, just dragging that arm back. Not much in it at all, actually. You're looking at that in replay.
Come off it. That was not a free kick.
Initially, I thought it was pretty
Nothing
obvious, but looking
in
at
it
it again in replay, Pete, I agree with you.
So Gavin Stevens for his 1st goal in league football. Comes back a little bit and just misses. Comes from Waya up near Shepparton. WAAIA.
He actually won the 91 Morris medal.
Langford to the centre of the ground, Brunton underneath, and it floats over his head. Hudson takes it. Paul Hudson looking good early in this game. Condon to the half-forward line. It's over the head. It was a poor kick by Condon. He kicked it straight to Cordy. Neil Cordy had been a fantastic player for the Swans. Recruited from Footscray, and I thought at the time was a poor decision by Footscray. As Lawrence, oh, was that a mark? Yes, he paid the mark. Stephen Lawrence, centre wing. Greg Deere, as I said earlier, played in the reserves. Obviously, they feel that they could go with one ruckman on this smaller ground. is McGovern. Good play as he breaks clear. Chips it in towards the centre. Mitchell. He'll look to the pocket. Nettlebeck. Simon Mitten-Connell was there also. Langford came over the top, and it's a free kick going to the fullback against Simon Mitten-Connell.
He must get in front though, Pete, mustn't he? Playing at full forward there. He's been caught the last 2 occasions behind Langford.
Lawrence up over the centre. Condon can't take the mark. Hudson being hassled and harassed by Brunton. Well done. Here's the speedy Lawson. Speedy Gonzalez, the smallest man in league football, goes for goal with nobody at home. Will it carry? Just about a centimetre short and walked over the line by Langford for a behind. David Stroop has left the ground in the first quarter. What about him, Cameron Williams?
Yes, Swans physio Doug Coleman is still working with David Strooper. They're a little bit concerned about his left ankle. He won't be playing again today. We'll find out the full extent of the injury and give you a quarter-time report.
Darren Kapler to the full forward line. Steve Lawrence is working very hard. They've lost it though. Lawson was there. Now it's Morrissey. Over the top. Langford can kick it long. Around centre wing. Ben Allen leads Kapler for the ball, then punches it away. Goes to try and retrieve it. And it'll be a throw-in halfway between centre wing and half forward for the Swans.
Ben Allen, best and fairest last year for the Hawks in their premiership year, which was fantastic for him after a pretty quiet first year in the AFL. Lawrence wins. Holmes is back there. Carroll, well done, he got a kick while lying on the small of his back. Pritchard in there for Hawthorn. Great pick-up, Jarman. Back to Morrissey. Kick by Morrissey to half forward. Oh, it bounces off the chest of Dunkley. Chance for Dunstall. Hudson. Clever kick for Hall. Bayes takes him. Dunstall picks up. Brunton. He is a good tagger. There's no doubt about him. And the umpire's going to call for a ball up just inside the boundary line. Yeah, Brunton, with his persistence, he was here for a long time for the Swans before he got into the league side, but never gives you an easy kick.
Deep in that forward pocket for the Hawks. 3-1 plays 1-4. There's little Johnny Platten, who's had a great game so far. Having a fine season. Gary Buckenham, a former Hawk champion and Swans coach, looking on. It's taken away by Cordy. Still not out of the danger zone, although Nettlebeck flies. Oh, danger here because Pritchard's got it. Ben Allen fires in a goal. And it's a throw, is it?
It was a good tackle.
I think it went through for a goal too.
It did. It was a good tackle by Paul Kelly.
Well, Paul Kelly at half back. Anything resembling an overhead hand pass now is classed as a throw. The umpire's right onto that. Chip pass finds McGovern at half back. Former Claremont player to the centre wing, Nettlebeck, who has replaced Strooper. Oh, he sets it up high, waiting underneath it, Kaplan. Now Kaplan will send this right down to the goal scorer. He's a beautiful kick, or is he going short? He's electing to go short, and that's good play by Neil Cordy, coming from the back line to the forward pocket.
His opponent is 100 metres away from him, that being Paul Deere.
Well, Alan Joyce won't like that.
Good play by... we're seeing more and more of this, actually. Backmen that are racing down, providing options on the forward line.
Neil Cordy, not often does he get a shot at goal, and that's obvious by that kick. It's thumped the ground. Lewis off the ground. Chance for Stevens. He went without it. Paul Cooper races it to the boundary line and puts it over.
Paul Cooper playing his 6th league game this season, 28 in his career. Gowers, front position. Big pack, pretty congested. Lawson tries to feed one through. Socket out of there, goes forward for Hawthorn. Bounces off Morrissey, he keeps it going forward. Well played, Jamie Morrissey. There's Deere. Crashed over by Carroll. Down goes Platten. Chance for the Swans. Cordy. Kelly. And the ball out at centre wing, and we'll have a throw in. So good pressure being applied by the Swans. The Hawks just pipped the Swans up here last year by 11 points, and their 2 previous visits to the SCG they lost. So they're the only 2 losses they've had in 19 games against the Sydney Swans. But their recent record up here hasn't been the sort of record you'd expect from a team that's won 3 flags in 4 years. And the umpire's now going to ball this up.
And I'm sure it's got something to do with the shape of the ground too. Get Hawthorn at Waverley, Drew. Well, at times they're nearly unbeatable out there. Their record there is sensational. But this ground, they do struggle a little bit in the confines, but they're still working hard. You can see Platten at the base of the pack. It's knocked on. Oh, Lawrence very mobile for a big man as he gets it to Hudson. Oh, tapped it onto Pritchard was great play. Tony Hall races after it. He's looking for an option to give it to. Platten is there, all ridden into the ground. Players pouncing on top of it. It'll be a bounce.
They're pretty desperate at the moment, aren't they, Sydney? We did expect that, Pete, because they could lose touch with the six if they lose this one today. They'll be struggling to make it.
Yes, you're dead right. And vital for Hawthorn too. They want to hang in there around the top 4 or 5 sides. There's a quick little toe poke. Hand pass was by Tunbridge to Mitchell. Barry Mitchell, a high floater. The half forward line. Gowers at the back, Lewis at the front. Here's Lewis again. Back to Mitchell. Knocked on by Lawrence. His players pouncing on top of it. Who's that? That's Chris Mew. And the Swans' opponent getting up is Holmes.
Open forward lines here for both teams. Dunstall one out with his man. Minton Connell similarly. Lawson, kick partly smothered. Right, comes out to Kapler. Long kick from 50. Minton Connell with Langford. Langford sees the ball out and will have a throw in.
Very strong player, Chris Langford. Body to body, he's almost impossible to beat.
Simon Minton Connell, part of the Greg Williams deal. Him up to Sydney and Greg Williams to Carlton. Clean bowls players there, and Cooper has to go off the ground and has seen the ball out. Simon Minton Connell's had some good days with Carlton, kicked bags of 8 and kicked a goal for the Blues when they stopped the Eagles' unbeaten run at Princes Park last year after the Eagles had won the first 11 games for the year.
Half forward for the Swans. Gowers, the big leap and the thump around the boundary line, but little Lawson was there with a quick hand pass, and it will be a throw-in. Just under 6 minutes left in this first term. Nothing really exciting happening so far. It's just a dour struggle. Both sides trying to gain that ascendancy. That was Nettlebeck. Sock it off the ground. Anderson cleverly goes to the line and puts it over.
Well, you're seeing the Swans dragging Hawthorn down a peg or two, and the Hawks are not getting their free running game going, even though Dunstall has taken 2 clear marks and kicked 2 goals, and Platten is winning the roving duel and kicked a goal against Barry Mitchell. It hasn't been the free-flowing, high-scoring Hawks at all. Lawson takes it outside 50, knocked over by Allen. Allen kept on going, played it well. Collins with Higgins. Collins with Studer buffeting there. Back to Ayres. Long kick to the 50. Hall from behind. Dunstall. Grabbed almost before he had it by Dunkley. Hall into Platten, but too high for him. McGovern. His hand pass too swift for Higgins. Collins. Swans there in numbers all right. Ball paddled out by Higgins. Taken by Mitchell. The kick over centre wing. Nettlebeck marks in between wing and half forward.
Craig Nettlebeck trying to get it moving. Oh, an ordinary kick. He centres it and it favours Jarman, who gets a bad bounce. Still going on though. Here's Higgins. Here's a chance. Minton Connell trying to get onto his right foot. He does so. He straightens up the full forward, kicks a goal and slams it through for a great goal. So Simon Minton Connell kicks his first, and Sydney trail by 3 points.
Yes, he's very impressive, Simon Minton Connell. As Drew said, part of the Greg Williams swap, as was Kapler and also Strooper. As we see Minton Connell in action, just getting around up, getting back to his favoured right foot, showing a bit of manoeuvrability there. Well out from goal, ending up kicking it from about 40 metres.
Well, nothing in this, just a 3-point ball game, just over 4 minutes to go to quarter time. Mew is kicked to half forward. Collins, awkward half volley for him. Cordy's back there to tidy up for the Swans. The Swans really going well. Cordy around the outer boundary line. Mitchell and Platten, the Rovers after it. Ball stays in. Platten waits, now goes in for it, and is tackled high by Kapler. Free kick, John Platten. He's been terrific. What a great little player. Condon can't take the mark. Chance for the Swans. Lewis waits. looks for the best option. Kepler is the best. Off the left boot. This'll make it. But it misses to the left. That was a chance to put the Swans in front.
Yeah, great hand pass there from Lewis, Drew. 25 metres, setting it up beautifully for Kepler. David Murphy, the only player on the bench there for Sydney after the loss of Strooper.
Chris Langford to the centre of the ground. A beautiful kick. Hudson beats him over the back. Brunton. Jarman showing his class. Look at that. And look at the kick to Platten. Magnificent play, Darren Jarman. Will it sit for Platten? Now he's got it to Little Rover. Brings it in towards full forward. Hall will fly from the back. Dunstall waits down. Will it sit for him? Sockers it off the ground. And finally it's forced through by his opponent, Dunkley, for a behind in front of those one-eyed Swan supporters at the back. So 2-5 plays 3-2. A good even contest at the moment.
Dunkley from North Launceston, previously played with St Kilda under-19s. First year with the Swans, got the big task on Jason Dunstall. Kick in by Higgins. Here's Dunkley up the ground. Swans free kick, advantage played, comes to Rose the advantage. Not sure about advantage there. Comes to Bays now. Long kick for Minton Connell. Ayres almost a great mark. Collins paddles across to Langford up the ground. Here's the Hawks free-flowing game going now. Pritchard off to Condon in space. He goes to Hall or Hudson. Hall.
Well, if possible, Drew, that's the best way to play this ground. Straight down that centre corridor area. This is very short ground, this, but you can get lost around the wings.
Hawks leading by just 3 points, 2.25 minutes to quarter time. So the Hawks really need this from Tony Hall. And he's lucky to score anything, doesn't make the distance. Off hands through for a behind. Hasn't made the distance from 40.
Well, his kicking has gone right off since that serious knee operation he had. He really does struggle from any sort of... dangerous kick in. Dunstall was hovering there. Kelly. Back to Higgins. Higgins to the half-back line. Kepler and Morrissey, and Kepler takes it. Former Fitzroy wingman, half-back to the half-forward line. Good mark, Nettlebeck. Couple of the Hawks waiting back there. The goal before quarter time would be very handy. Cooper back with the flight of the ball, but that's a mark to Langford. They're having a good battle down there, Langford, Minton Connell. Oh, dangerous to go back to Ayres. But he goes across goal and finds Pritchard. Pritchard, the chip pass is a bad one. This could put them under pressure here. Gowers. Now Kelly. Kelly sockers it to the line and puts it over, but not good play by Hawthorn, that, Bernie.
If they could have kept that in play there, Sydney, they would have been a chance, but really poor defence by Hawthorn, taking it right back across the goal line. A couple of fumbles making it even more difficult.
Just on a minute to go to quarter time. Another chance here for the Swans. Lawson. The hand pass back. Might come off. Does eventually to Holmes. Now he's swamped. Carroll kept it going forward. Well played, Lawson. To Bays. On the turn. Not a bad kick by Bays. Grabbed by Ayres. Off to Collins. Now a chance for the Hawks to get one more before the quarter time break. Jarman dives at it. Held when not in possession. Free kick to Jarman. Dunkley facing Dunstall, eyeball to eyeball down the ground. Full back, full forward. The kick goes out very wide. Here they are. Dunkley goes to ground. Chance for Dunstall. One way, then the other. The hand pass in. Not great. At the feet of Pritchard. Platten applies the tackle on Dunkley. Illegally. Free kick to Dunkley.
It's obvious free kick, that one. Well played, though, by Dunkley. He just stayed off the ball.
Lawson at half back. Carroll. Cooper read it better than Mitchell and took a very nice mark. Now he can give it to Lawrence or Condon. Condon takes it as time runs out for Hawthorn as they go forward. A very even first quarter here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Scores 4 points to the margin. Hawthorn lead 3-3 to 2-5.
They really did in that first turn.
There's Taylor on that half-forward line. He's taken over from Paul Deere.
So the Hawks by just 4 points. Lawrence out of the middle. Lawson back there for the Swans. Good gather. Had a great season. Higgins in front. Spoiled by Platten. It's great spoiling by the Little Rover in a behind position. And he comes up with a possession. Well done, Platten. Back to Condon. Great kick round the corner to Allen. Son a problem down there for Dunstall. The kick in his direction. And the man in front, Tundridge, and the West Australian, has had a superb season for the Sydney Swans. And, of course, he's in the West Australian squad for the State of Origin game on Tuesday night. Quite a few players involved today. State selectors from both Western Australia and Victoria will be watching today with fingers crossed.
Murphy giving away that free kick, Drew. He's on the ground for his first taste of the football.
Free kick to Allen. He's also in the WA squad. Dunstall. Oh, no, not quite this time. Has to dish out the hand pass. Kapler's there for the Swans. He goes backwards. Brunton kicks into the pack. Comes to Dunkley. All Hawthorn. Condon with a bit of time. Jarman. Well, Lawson came from nowhere to put him under pressure.
Oh.
Condon steers the pass low. Platten 20 metres in the clear.
You see the class of Jarman then, Bernie.
Oh, he's very skillful, isn't he? He always delivers it somewhere, doesn't he, Pete? Usually to a teammate.
But most guys would have been caught with the ball then.
Yeah, well, Jamie Lawson jumping there instead of staying low for the tackle.
Platten for his second goal. It's good. The Hawks sneak away to a 10-point lead.
Well, the Sydney players just must man up a lot better than they have been doing, because Condon and Platten on a couple of occasions have been able to sneak away. There's Condon again. He's been able to find some space around the middle of the ground. And Platten getting right away from his opponent and just taking a very simple chest mark in the forward pocket, 20 metres clear of any Swans player.
Hawthorn by 10 points, and the Swans might have to do something about Platten because he's dominating so far. He's Ben Allen. All he got out of the centre a little bit too easily then to Hall at half forward. Bayes, a very difficult man to beat, Mark Bayes. He's quick and tall and a very good defensive player. As that ball socket off the ground right out towards centre wing, it'll be a throw-in.
Higgins, the player that is picking up John Platten, Pete.
Well,
but,
he's giving him too much latitude.
Yeah, Platten starting not in the centre square, starting behind there, around about centre half back. And this is throwing them off a little bit, the Sydney players. They're not too sure where he's starting.
Lawrence shoved out of it by Nettlebeck. Mitchell to the half-forward line. Cooper thumps at the ground. Here's a chance for David Murphy. A hand pass over the top. Minton Connell kicks, pushed as he kicked. And good play by Langford. And saved 5 points there because he only kicked it behind. So 2-6 plays 4-3.
Quite a goodish crowd here today at the SCG. Watch last year's premiers against the home side. Langford's kick in. Nettlebeck flips over the hand pass. Collins double fits it back. Oh, Murphy buried in Ayres' tackle and holding the ball. That took the wind out of him, I reckon. What a great tackle by Ayres. And the kick to half forward. Hall in the middle of the pack. Comes off to Hudson. Regains it to full forward. Dunstall behind. It might favour him. He doubles back off the ground. Dunstall for 3. Now they're skipping away, the Hawks. Dunstall has kicked 3 goals straight.
Yes, well, favoured by the bounce there in the running. Very fortunate, the fullback doing the right thing. In Dunkley out in front, the kick from Hudson tumbles over the top. Dunstall caught behind and just very fortuitously kicked it off the ground. But just the luck of the draw. Nothing the fullback could do about that. It's the shape of the football beating him on that occasion.
Well, that was good play by Paul Hudson, helping in that goal. Determined play by Hudson. And I just got a feeling that after a couple of disappointing games, Paul Hudson's really lifting his work rate, Bernie.
Yes, he started off on the bench last week against Melbourne, came on and did OK in that second half, kicking 3 goals.
Well,
including a couple of posters, Pete.
A vital time coming up for the Swans. There's Andrew Collins working hard, knocked on by Lawrence. They don't want to let Hawthorn get a run on. There's Jarman, handball straight to Kapler. Jason Taylor loses it. On the left foot was Brunton. There's a free kick to Morrissey against Little Lawson. Here's Platten again. No, it's got to come back. So Jamie Lawson, just that lack of height then showing out.
He's just caught behind. He didn't have much chance, did he, against Morrissey?
Morrissey an ordinary kick off the side of the boot. Hudson playing in front. See that? He's working very hard, Paul Hudson. Good play to Taylor. Taylor's got an open goal here. Races in and misses to the right. So the Swans fans breathe a sigh of relief. But again, good play by Paul Hudson.
Jason Taylor's played every game this year. Bit of a surprise perhaps to see him start on the bench. Bayes kicks in straight up the middle. Mitchell a bit of a fumble. Lawrence with desperation. Carroll to Lawson. Hard to get a kick in there. Anderson a little hand pass out to Allen. A high ball. Hall chips in front. A lot of it.
He was nearly off, wasn't he?
He thought about it, didn't he, Pete? He was.
He actually did go off, didn't he? He took a step.
He did take a.
You watch this
sideways.
as he goes on.
He's got great courage. Hasn't he got great courage
There.
the way he just keeps his eye on the ball every time there's an aerial contest?
Enormous
He's
courage.
incredible.
Right in front. 30 metres out. Hall gets his first goal. The Hawks have kicked 3-0 this quarter.
There's Tony Hall, a player in two of the Hawks premiership teams. He kicked 42 goals last year. He's been a magnificent player for the Hawks. Another scoring option on that forward line, along with Hudson, Dunstall, Deere. They've got so many players on that forward line capable of kicking goals. We see that mark just going with the flight of the ball, almost off. And it was a bit lucky the umpire didn't call play on there, Peter. I think you're right.
3 goals, 1-1 behind in this quarter for Hawthorn. Condon, a difficult ball out of the middle, off the shins of Hall. Back to Jarman. A high ball, one out is Dunstall with his opponent. Dunkley leaves him. Dunstall now, 30 metres out, unselfishly to Hudson, and Hudson rams through the goal. Well, it's a torrent coming from the Hawks forwards in this quarter.
Certainly two good players last year, two good goal kickers, Hall and Hudson, featuring those last 2 goals. Hudson kicked 62 goals last season. He hasn't been quite so productive this year, only 12 goals up to the start of today's game. He started on the bench last week, did particularly well in that second half, and he's been very busy so far this afternoon.
Hawthorn working very hard at these centre bounces. When Lawrence misses it, or Tunbridge, Ben Allen, Collins, Hudson really going in after it. There's Lawrence again getting it out. Pritchard knocking it on. He was looking for Platten. It's like a rugby scrum in there as players try and crash it through. They're still going. Nettlebeck off the ground by Pritchard. Taylor playing in front, taps it on brilliantly. Hudson went without it. Off the ground will allow Jarman. Here's danger. Darren Jarman on the left foot, picks it up with class. Brilliant play, Jarman. Well, the Hawthorn machine in action, that's his first, but look at the scoreboard now. In no time, it's 8-4 to 2-6.
Well, this is what happened last week. They struggled in the first quarter against Melbourne, very slow off the mark, only kicking 1-2 for the term. Very slow again today. They kicked 3-3 in the first quarter, but in this early part of the second quarter, everything's going their way, getting the ball out of the middle. And they're better players. They're very skillful players featuring in those goals.
The Hawks have had 5 different goal kickers in the opening 9 minutes of this second quarter. Allen buried.
Oh, surely that was in the back.
Unbelievable.
He just ran him straight into the ground. He can't believe he didn't get a free kick for that.
Ben Allen.
Chewing a bit of turf, I think, there, Drew.
Getting a bit of the cricket pitch out of his nostrils. A lot of players around this. Lawrence up before acceptances. Tunbridge wins down to Nettlebeck. Kapler gets the hand pass over the top. They charged at it but went without it, the Swans. Gowers, little kick, Platten to Ayres. Kick by Ayres for Dunstall's lead. Dropping a bit short. He's on the 50, Jason Dunstall. Look at them stream into attack, and Pritchard's got it.
Had a great game last week also, Pritchard. He's a very hard-working wingman. He works from defence into attack. Very quick to get back and help out the Hawthorn defenders when he has a chance.
So Darren Pritchard could become their 6th goal scorer this quarter in 10 minutes. 45 metres out. Won't quite make it. Taylor's there, but a punch by Tunbridge sees it through. Rush behind. Now, Dale Lewis on the bench for the Swans. Cameron?
Yes, Dale left the ground to have his shoulder iced. He took a bad knock to the back of his shoulder, but may play at some stage later in the game. The situation with David Strooper is that he also took a very bad knee in the back, and that is actually what's keeping him off the ground. Sensational
goal that by Jarman, as Cameron was talking, but what class that was. From the boundary line, the way he trapped it. Well, Bernie, that was just sheer class again.
Well, we're only 10 minutes into this term, Pete, and Hawthorn's kicked 6 goals. It's been a great performance by Hawthorn, and once their skillful players start running, and getting with the flow of the play. Jarman, just an amazingly skilled player.
Well, I made the comment a couple of weeks ago, he's the best player in the competition as far as watching. Absolute class.
Yeah, Platten and Mitchell start centre bounces out near centre wing. Collins is in there with Higgins.
Oof.
But they very quickly get into congested. Lawson, a good kick out of the muddy patch. Minton Connell, an early climb, gave away the free. Can't do that.
Yeah, good to see they're paying those free kicks now, Pete. The player there, Minton Connell, getting a lift up by putting his hands on the shoulder of Langford.
No doubt.
Kick by Langford. 2-1 Hawthorn. Allen takes an easy mark. Back to Morrissey. Well, they're queuing up for goal-scoring opportunities. Hudson, 55 metres out. Dunstall, one out with Dunkley. Hudson looking for him. Dunstall a chance. Good mark. Right in front and 35 metres from goal.
And a great centering kick from Hudson.
That's twice he's done it.
Yes, looking all the time for Dunstall. And Dunstall presenting himself very well. He'll be kicking from about 40 metres out. And that's the way to lead straight up that centre corridor. Don't lead into the pockets. He really has a chance, a shot from an angle, Jason Dunstall. Always knows where to lead.
Well, Tony Lockett snuck a bit closer yesterday with 12, but Dunstall might match him. That's 4.
Well, they're being swamped in this second quarter, Sydney. They really haven't had a sniff. They've only kicked one behind. And Hawthorn winning the ball out of the centre square just about on every occasion. Jason Dunstall providing the target. Great mark there. And watch this kicking action. Not much margin for error there. He's kicked 4 goals straight for the afternoon.
Well, the Swans have got to start working a lot harder. Free kick centre of the ground to Carroll, who has hardly been sighted.
No, very quiet. 7-2 for this quarter, Hawthorn, and only one behind Sydney.
Well, Carroll to the half-forward line. Collins back with the flight. This is Simon Minton Connell trying to get onto the right foot and bring it up in front of goal. Will it sit for Kepler? He tapped it down. Collins went without it. Now Kepler a chance. Was grabbed when he didn't have it, so it'll be a free kick. He had got rid of the ball with a hand pass and was grabbed. So no doubt about that one.
Oh, he did hand pass. He saw the tackle coming. He just didn't see the hand pass there from Kepler, but good play, realising he was about to be tackled.
Not an easy kick for a left footer. Most left footers from this position, particularly Peter Sumich, would probably hook this across the front. Now let's see what he does. Not a bad looking kick. Actually, it bent back the other way and went through for a goal. So Darren Kepler breaks the drought, kicks his first, but look at the scoreboard. 3-6 plays 10-5.
That was a badly needed goal, wasn't it, for Sydney? Their first goal for the term. You see the free kick again. Kepler taking possession, then a little quick hand pass.
He actually missed it, didn't he?
He attempted the hand pass. Anyway, the umpire on the blind side of that. Kepler, who was the best and fairest winner for Fitzroy in 1988.
Lawrence confronts Tunbridge, and Lawrence wins. Jarman walks through the centre circle, clears the square. Hall overruns it. Lawson going pretty straight today. Lawson, good play. Up inside half forward. Minton Connell gathered the bouncing ball well. The hand pass is all right, and the shot for goal is good from Nettlebeck.
So 2 very quick goals to Sydney. Giving them some sort of hope. They need about 3 more to stay in this contest. They're already 35 points behind after only being 4 points down at the quarter-time break. Minton Connell charging out in front this time. And just a training drill there. Hand pass over to Nettlebeck, and from about 40 metres right through the middle.
Well, maybe that'll lift the Swans. They trail by 35 still and need another couple. Gary Ayres crashes in after it. So does Platten. And umpire Chris Mitchell will come in and bounce. It's almost in the centre of the ground. The ground in fantastic condition. Had a lot of rain up here. Centre square a little bit muddy. The rest of the ground just in mint condition. There's Tunbridge getting it out to McGovern. He runs to 50 metres, brings it in towards full forward. It's a shocking kick from a guy who is so highly skilled, and just sneaks it in from behind.
Yes, ordinary kick. Good opportunity opportunity for the Swans to add to their tally.
Langford's kick, a mighty effort. Off the hands, quickly whipped through the pack, and a chance here for the Swans. Centering kick, Minton Connell, half volley. Oh, great stuff. Good ball. Once, twice, left footer and goal. The Swans have kicked 3 in a row.
Yes, well, this is good. The Swans, they really had their backs to the wall there for a while with Hawthorn doing all the attacking. I think the opportunity there for Minton Connell to get the hand pass over, and that sort of lured Langford away from really applying that tackle. There he takes the ball. The hand pass could have been given. Good skills in sidestepping a couple of players and snapping that goal in his left boot.
Good pass in from Gary Stevens, the first gamer.
I think it was actually a missed kick, Drew. As we see back to the centre, it's tapped down brilliantly. Allen, now that could be holding the ball. It is. Good tackle.
And a great view of the umpire in the correct position to call that free kick.
It's Darren Holmes in towards the half-forward line. He is at the back. Stevens again. Paul Cooper after all. He slipped over at the inopportune moment. Gary Ayres. He's got Ben Allen if he goes on the left foot. And he's found him too. Can he mark it? No. It hits the deck. Again, Ben Allen. Jarman was there also, has tapped on brilliantly. Holmes went without it. Back it comes to Jarman. Look at him go. Darren Jarman in towards the pocket. And the mark not taken by Tony Hall. It's a good battle between Hall and Bays. Bays, the chip pass. Mitchell over the top. Holmes again. And a push in the back, so the ball will have to come back to centre wing. A free kick to Holmes.
Yep, coming back to centre wing. Darren Holmes from Lavington. Youngster, 16 AFL games. Oh, kick in looking for Lawson. He's not that tall, Darren. Hudson. That could cost them a goal. Anderson. Hall or Dunstall. Here's Tony Hall. Shrugs the tackle. Out to Dunstall. Lines up for number 5. Oh, clever kick. Taylor marks some goals. Dunstall didn't go for the goal.
Very unselfish play there by Jason Dunstall. He did spot Taylor heading towards that goal square. And Jason Taylor, as we see in replay, Tony Hall, very good forward also, gets a hand pass to Dunstall. He spotted Taylor there, and Taylor kicks this ball right out of the ground, so I think we'll be needing a new ball. No, it's back, so Taylor making an impact already.
11-5 to 5-7. Once again proving how unselfish he is, Dunstall. Must have been very tempted to have a pot shot himself. There's Brunton over the top, but straight to Ayres. Back to Paul Deere, who's on the ground. Anderson, Condon, Platten. Even Platten then was over there helping out Bernie.
Yes, there's plenty of running Johnny Platten's legs. A very good little runner right around the ground. Never stops.
Condon to the half-forward line. Hudson, a brilliant mark over the back. He's got loose men everywhere if he kicks it now, and he's found a man. Look at this. Pritchard on his own. Unforgivable by the Swans. Pritchard turns around, slams a goal, and he's kicked it. Well, that's his first, but unforgivable play by the Swans defenders. Great play again, Paul Hudson.
7 players now kicking goals for Hawthorn. And, gee, that was easy, wasn't it? Pritchard, 30 metres out in the clear. Look at this. He takes the ball, no pressure whatsoever. Still not a Sydney player in sight, and could have really strolled in and kicked that one.
Paul Kelly, Darren Pritchard's man, didn't go with him. Pritchard finished up with a very easy goal. Out of the air by Jarman. Across the ground. Clever mark by Hudson. They're starting to hit a bit of form today, Paul Hudson. Up to Dunstall in the forward pocket. Outnumbered 2-1. Oh, great pick-up, Collins. So often a back pocket player. And a snap for goal. Wasn't a bad effort from an impossible angle. Dacos would have kicked it, but there aren't too many of those around.
Peter Dacos, unbelievable. That goal he kicked yesterday out at Waverley Park, when he does it time and time again for the Magpies. Exciting player to watch, but let's get back to this game. And this team are a very exciting team to watch. A lot of the critics keep writing them off and saying that Geelong are favourites for the flag. In my opinion, this team is favourites for the flag. Hawthorn, centre wing. Cordy to the half-forward line, and it's thumped down by Gowers over the line.
Don't worry, Pete, the invite will be in the mail for the premiership dinner. You're unbelievable.
Well, no one's proved they're better than them yet, have they?
No, they have to be equal favourites, I suppose.
You just wait till they get reasonable odds and you keep lining your pockets with them. There's Carroll. A high ball. Nettlebeck charges at it. Ayres punches away from him. Mitchell has hardly had a look in today. Barry Mitchell. Higgins gets it going the Swans' way, gains a few metres, and the ball out of bounds.
Well, Chris Muir very important back into this side too, Pete, because they do have troubles at centre-half back, Hawthorn, when Muir's out of the side.
Rose, number 22. Rose above the pack, pushing the back, and the free kick to Stevens against Cooper. Cooper not too willing to let him go. Well, they had a purple patch for a couple of minutes and kicked 3 goals in a row, the Swans, but they've been flogged in this quarter generally. There's Mitchell getting it going forward. Lawson with the pace of a stall gift winner, but he fumbled that one. I think his feet were too quick for his hands, and the ball out of play.
He's an exciting little player to watch, isn't he, Jamie Lawson, the smallest player playing AFL football. He's 2 centimetres shorter than Danny Craven, the St Kilda player.
Well, he's very, very quick. Is he shorter than Libber?
Libber's 4 centimetres taller than him.
A giant.
Well, still in that back pocket. The Swans really have been disappointing since quarter time. Little spurt of 3 goals, but Hawthorn have got their goals a little bit too easily. And there's shades of Sam Newman going early. He's the ruck coach. Newman of Sam at Hawthorn, and he's obviously coaching Lawrence. There's Kepler on the left foot in towards goal, taken by Cooper. Paul Cooper this is, or dangerous over the top. Should never have handballed that to Langford, and they're lucky to get away with that, the Hawks.
Yes, Langford, realising he was under pressure, just tried to tap that one back over his head to Cooper. The long kick would have been the safe option.
Plenty of Hawks supporters you could see there in the crowd. Lawrence up early again. Allen checks out the situation, goes in and gets pulled off the ball by Lawson. No free kick for that. Carroll's hand pass. Pritchard takes a high tackle. Umpire's lost the P and he's whistled.
That's unbelievable, isn't it?
Well, there's about three kicks before that.
Mitchell centres to Kapler. Oh, good spoil, and it's wide open for the Hawks. Anderson gets a bad bounce. Kapler came from nowhere. And on his own is Minton Connell. Well, good play by Kapler. Looked a certainty for the Hawks to whip it down to the other end.
A little bit lucky to get away with that, Sydney, because they kicked to the standing player there, Kapler, with 2 Hawthorn players converging on him. Had the ball bounced okay, Hawthorn would have been away, right into attack.
Simon Minton Connell, who still commutes from Melbourne to play with the Sydney Swans, lining up for his 3rd goal. He's kicked 2 goals too. And that's good. Margin 35 points.
There's 3 goals, 2 to Minton Connell, 2 goals coming in this quarter. They've fought back pretty well, Sydney, since that opening burst from Hawthorn. Completely dominated the first 10 minutes. They kicked 6 goals, Hawthorn, in the first 10 minutes, and Hawthorn has bounced, or Sydney has bounced back, showing a bit of character here, starting to get a few knockouts and getting the ball out of the middle.
Well, the Swans need a couple more. Ben Allen gets it towards Jarman. Jarman shoved in the back. Umpire calls play on. There's Anderson around the corner. They're working hard now, the Swans, with their tackling. We come to expect that of them. They're a great tackling side. This is Bays. To the half-forward line, Dennis Carroll centres it. Murphy, great pickup. Caught, throws it away. Hawthorn going in very hard there at half-back. Tapped onto Anderson. Anderson a handball over the top. They're still working hard, the Swans, and now a free kick going the way of the Hawks, and it will go to Dean Anderson at half-back.
Well, keep doing the little things in the game. Might fall into place later on. E.g. Collingwood against Geelong yesterday. Cats looked as though they had it won halfway through the 2nd quarter. And the Swans are really in there, hassling and tackling hard. Mitchell applies this one, holding the ball against Deere, and he dumps Barry Mitchell. Well, Mitchell was fighting out of his division there. The umpire warns Deere about it, the man who won the medal in last year's grand final. Swans into attack again. Ayres back there in defence. He's caught by Kapler. The hand pass in desperation. Taken by Murphy. Oh, not far from a goal. First score to David Murphy, who started the game on the bench. And earlier in this quarter, the Hawks led by 47 points.
Langford, beautiful kick again. He's looking for Gowers over the back. He drops what he should have taken. Gowers, Pritchard on the left foot to the half-forward line. Paul Deere back with the flight. Hudson again did it well. Great play, Paul Hudson. Tremendous football. Here's the danger man, Dunstall and Dudley punch down. There's Hawks everywhere. Racing in is Darren Jarman to chip it over the top. And he has missed. I thought he might go for one of those famous balks then, Bernie.
Yes, and a couple of options there. He could have given it off, I think. Pete, Chris Mew, right down from centre half back, was just about on the edge of the goal square.
Lawson, an unlikely man to kick in, but he does pretty well with about a 60-metre kick. Bayes thumps to the back to Holmes. That's perfect football. Long kick by Darren Holmes. Stevens interfered. Went up before acceptances.
It's bad play, that, Pete, isn't it? Just an obvious free kick.
It's a free every time, isn't it, that one?
Cooper's kick is perfect to Allen. Kick by Allen back. Jarman, what a mark. Hudson runs into space. Dunstall offers the lead. The kick for Taylor.
Well, not just
should have gone to Hudson, actually, shouldn't he?
The defence, they're just not checking closely enough. Taylor, they're 10 metres away from Cordy. Really, that was far too easily, that mark in attack.
Jason Taylor, ex-Fitzroy, right in front, kicking from 45 metres. Oh, it's offline to the right. And he's kicked 1 goal, 2, all coming in this quarter. Spent the first term on the bench.
On the margin now, the even 6 goals. Leon Higgins back in the side. He and Dennis Carroll after hamstring strains.
Gavin Rose now doing the ruck work for the Sydney Swans.
Well, a dangerous kick in. It's found Bayes. It was dangerous. A couple of Hawk players are hovering around. Here's Nettlebeck. Good lead and a good mark. Craig Nettlebeck brings it in towards half forward. Gowers has got the pace to fist it away. Here's Kelly. Oh, smothered was Pritchard smothering that handball. Murphy. Now Higgins. There's loose men everywhere for the Swans. This is McGovern. He was going to go over the top now. He's going to bring it in towards full forward. No mark. Taken away by Mew. On towards Ayres. He's got a couple to beat. Good play, Gary Ayres. He beat 3 men then. Ben Allen sets it up for Pritchard. Where's Dunstall? Oh, Platten chipped in. Now it's Paul Deere who's having a very quiet game. Taylor also in after it. Players go to ground and the umpire will come in and bounce.
Big opportunity down the other end, Pete, with that pass to Tunbridge. You'd be pretty disappointed he didn't take that mark.
Under 4 minutes remaining to half-time. 36 points the difference. There's Mitchell getting a kick on Platt. This is an uneven contest. Lawrence poleaxes Lawson. Jarman turns Holmes inside out. Back over his shoulder. Dunstall from behind. Anderson, Dunstall there. McGovern did pretty well. And they've fought very hard. I mean, after the first 10 minutes of this quarter, you'd have thought the margin by now would have been 80 instead of 36.
Yes, they have tried very hard, the Swans, but on the back line, just at times, they're not manning up. But once Hawthorn break clear, they're such a highly skilled side, it's hard to man them all up. There's Mitchell going back to the line. Collins tried to keep it in, but couldn't. Still in that forward pocket for the Hawks. They lead by 6 goals. Paul Deere finding a while to find his feet after that thumb operation. So he goes back towards Cooper. Still on the boundary line. There's Collins. Oh, danger here. Dunstall will come from the back. Oh, great mark, Dunstall.
Isn't he
tremendous
strong?
Mark.
Yes, he's unbelievably strong. Once he gets his hands wrapped around that ball, it's very hard to knock the ball away. A couple of Swans defenders there, putting enormous pressure on him. He's still able to take that mark.
Well, I love hearing you blokes rave about him because you've both kicked 100 and know what it's all about. And if you reckon he's fantastic, I reckon that's the perfect ultimate accolade.
Well, he just keeps doing the right thing all the time, doesn't he, Pete? He works hard.
And a team player of the highest class. Dunstall here, he's going for his 5th now. Did he sneak it in? No, he's missed a sitter and he's not happy. No full forward likes to miss them from there. 12-9 to 6-8.
His first miss. It was only from about 25 metres out, Jason Dunstall. Directly in front. So 4 goals, 1 for the afternoon.
Started the game 7 goals ahead of Lockett. And now 11 ahead. They're the only two who've kicked more than 40 this year. Dunstall 65, Lockett 54. Next best 39. Oh, Nettlebeck. Fine mark on centre wing. Into Mitchell. The hand pass into space. McGovern runs onto it. Now Carroll needing to lift the skipper. Long kick from 55 metres. Watch this sail. Minton Connell right on the behind line. In fact, in the old days, maybe Carroll would have kicked that with 10 metres to spare.
Yeah, good direct play, though, by the Sydney Swans. Bring the ball right down the centre corridor again. Very tight angle. Minton Connell, we'll probably see him run out slightly. He's favoured, though, because he's not far out from goal.
He's kicked 3 for the game and 2 in this quarter. Simon Minton Connell. No, I think he's kicked it. Good effort. 12-9 to 7-8, and the Swans still boxing on.
Yeah, great effort by Minton Connell. Both full forwards kicking 4 goals. And Minton Connell up against quality opposition in Chris Langford. Never get an easy kick against Chris Langford. We see that kick coming from about 55 metres out, just marked on the line, and that boundary line very close to the fence. Chris Langford eased up. You see that kick for goal from a very tight angle. It could have been nasty if he had kept going. Minton Connell very close to the fence.
Lawrence looking for Collins. Oh, Collins did it well out of the centre. The last thing the Swans would want is a goal here. Dunstall versus Dunkley. Oh, Platten races in after it. Johnny Platten still going off the ground. Deere, no, it's behind. Paul Deere tried to tap it back in front of those one-eyed Hawk supporters who've made their way up here. 12-10 plays 7-8. Bays to the half-back line. Morrissey against Lawson. Lawson should go towards the boundary here. Good tackle. Oh, no, he broke the tackle. A good Taylor got him. But the little rover in towards half-forward, punched away by Ayres. Condon waits for it. He's got it, Condon. A wild hand pass. He was looking for Collins. Will it sit for him? Collins tries to crash his way through. Still going on with it, Andrew Collins. Quick hand pass. Lawrence lost it. The Swans a chance now as Carroll to the half-forward line. No mark. Gowers. Swans players coming at him from everywhere. 3 and 4 players deep. Here's Stevens racing to the boundary line. A goal here would be handy. They've got 10 seconds in which to get it. Here's Murphy. Also Nettlebeck. No, he went without it, Nettlebeck. And there's he and Paul Cooper having words. The time clock ticking down. And there it is, the end of the first half here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Hawthorn 12-10-82, the Sydney 7-8-50, but at least the Swans in that quarter, Bernie came back hard.
Yes, they had a go. They looked completely out of it at the tip.
Jason Dunstall with 4 goals in the first half, and Simon Minton Connell at the other end, also with 4 goals. Chris Mitchell in charge with Damon Anthony.
And good to see Strooper walking back, David Strooper walking back around the boundary line. He looked very proppy, but probably not as serious as we first thought.
Well, I suppose if the Swans can repeat their last 15 minutes and keep it going for an hour, they might get back into this, but by gee, there looks to be an edge in class with the Hawks, and Lawrence out of the centre square with that hit out. Morrissey. The Swans are in there in numbers and putting on the pressure and tackling, and they are one of the best tackling teams in the competition.
And Lawrence well on top in that centre square bounces. He thumped that 30 metres. Most of his hit-outs have been pretty telling too.
Just watching Dennis Carroll clutching the back of his hamstring too, Drew.
McGovern for the Swans. Goes backwards, and then Higgins goes forwards. Bayes up at half forward. He was a defender in the first half. Mark Bayes thumps it high to Minton Connell. Good spoil by Langford. Platten with Mitchell. All-Australian last year, Barry Mitchell. But Platten's beaten him today, and there's a ball up here.
And I noticed that the centre bounce to open this quarter Platten again waited outside the square, but Mitchell waited with him. Half forward for Sydney. They would badly do with a couple of quick goals. Smothered off the boot of Kepler. Punched away to Collins. That was by Gowers. And then Collins taps it further afield. 2 Hawks. One was Pritchard. He chips it out to Lawrence, who can go over the top, and they're off and running. This is Jarman. Danger when he gets the ball as he brings it into half forward. Beautifully directed kick, all being held with Taylor. Then he lays the tackle. Here's Hudson, who's played a great game. Hudson trying to hook it back in front of goal, but sneaks it in for a behind. And I'm sure Alan Joyce would be absolutely delighted with the form of Paul Hudson. He had a real flat patch for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, certainly, Pete. Last week, as I said, he started off on the bench, and he did do well in that second half.
Neil Cordy. Tunbridge. Oh, good mark. Got the sitter overhead earlier in the game. Might have cost the Swans a goal. That was a good one in front of Lawrence.
Oh, he's
Not
danger.
sure about the hand pass, though. In comes Collins. Comes back to Tunbridge. That's a little bit better. To Kelly, to Lawson. Now they're running through the middle. Carroll. Oh, beautiful. Minton Connell. Oh, he should have taken that mark. 40 metres out from goal. Chance for Langford. He was going to get a free kick for a low tackle, but played on with the advantage. Beautiful pass to centre wing. Andy Collins is kicked to half forward, and Pritchard takes the mark. Darren Pritchard round onto the left. Unmarked is Jarman, who has been a damaging player. Kicked 2 goals, 1. Dunstall leads. Jarman looking for 13 possessions already. Coming up for his 14th kick, Darren Jarman. Now everything covered up in the goal square. It's not the greatest kick of all time. Still in the field of play. Oh, they kept it in. Platten. And Dunstall takes the mark.
Well, that's unforgivable, isn't it, Pete, to not run that ball through
Terrible,
for a rush
wasn't it?
behind there. In defensive play, you just have to go for the safety factor there. And Dunstall couldn't believe his luck to see that one come back in. Platten accepted the hand pass. Thank you very much. Over the top. How easy is this?
He'd consider this a real bonus. Dunstall for goal number 5. Oh, he's missed it. That's 4 goals, 2 to Jason Dunstall after he had 4 straight.
And he's missed 2 sitters, and there's the Hawthorn bench. Paul Deere and Scott McGuinness. And Tony Keeney, one of the team managers.
Deere, of course, missed 4 weeks with that broken thumb. Probably takes a little bit of time to regain confidence after an injury such as that.
Well, here's the kick at half-back with McGovern. The Swans trying to get something moving. Gowers at the back. He's got the height. Taylor. Platten has been a great player now. Platten kicks long to the pocket. Hudson back with the flight. Tony Hall's there also. But it beats all players over the line, deep in that forward pocket for the Hawks. They lead 12-12 to 7-8.
New opponent for Hudson also in this second half. Brunton picking him up, or maybe just covering for McGovern.
Dale Lewis on the bench for the Swans. Brunton out of defence. Higgins with Platten. Ball out of play. And any time it's anywhere near Platten, if you can see the ball out, you've done well.
No, Brunton is picking up Hudson, and also Bay's playing centre half forward on Chris Mew.
Taylor and Tunbridge. Bit of a wrestle between the 2 ruckmen. Carroll out of the pack. Pushing the back there. Free kick is going to come back to McGovern. Fans wanted advantage, played up the ground about 30 metres further on. It's David Murphy.
Murphy at half-back to the half-forward line. Nettlebeck racing back with it was Jarman again. Well, he's showing his class. Lawrence, centre wing, chips it in. Tony Hall versus Cordy, 2 strong overhead players. Thumped away by Cordy and over the line. And I can't help feeling Tony Hall would have been a real superstar but for that knee injury, Bernie.
Yeah, real setback that, wasn't it, in that interstate clash when he was tackled by his own teammate.
Andy
Well, his
Collins.
Hawthorn teammate.
Well, there's Higgins, sweeping hand pass. Bayes is too quick for Mew. McGovern. Oh, he ran too far and he's caught. That was bad play by McGovern. Mew back to Lawrence. Lawrence a hurried kick. Pritchard. Oh, Anderson and Pritchard spoiled each other. Still a chance. This is Tony Hall swinging around on the right foot. Hooks it up in front of goal, but a good mark by Gavin Rose.
Excellent mark, wasn't it? Going back with the flight of the ball. Who's picking up? Jason Taylor. And Cordy is now playing on Tony Hall.
Here's Carroll, the skipper. Long kick, half back to half forward. Nettlebeck almost pushed into it by Ayres. Nettlebeck over the ball again. Bays, Lawson losing ground in possession. McGovern on the front edge of the square. Long kick to the goal square. Minton Connell almost took a one-hander. Ball stays in. Langford. Minton Connell shepherded illegally.
No, it's up the field.
It's the other way,
It was
is it?
against Minton Connell for a high one on, I think it was Cooper.
Cooper came in to give the shepherd, and Minton
Yes.
Connell cleaned him up,
Yeah,
so
played
the
up the
relay
field.
free up the ground to Ayres. Now here's Condon.
Anthony Condon towards the centre wing. Morrissey from the side, but there's a good mark, Tunbridge. McGovern again wanting the handball. He should be kicking it. He does this time in towards half forward. Good mark, Nettlebeck. Now Brunton. The chip pass. No mark. It was just fell short of the mark. Ayres goes to the line, but a free kick against Minton Connell again to Langford.
Oh, that was a tough one, Pete. That was a tough one.
Didn't seem to be much in it, did there?
No, Langford was over the top of Minton Connell. He was just trying to get up.
Probably should have been a play-on call. Langford finds Anderson. You look for Taylor. Jason Taylor races out and marks it. Good mark too. And he's got Chris Mew out there. Oh, he fumbles. He's not having a good day, Chris Mew. Lawson to the pocket. Minton Connell versus Langford. Langford did it well with superior pace. Minton Connell's still going though, and he eventually takes it over the line.
Well, of course, Chris Mew lacking a little bit of football this year. He only played that one senior game against St Kilda when he had a horror stretch against Stuart Lowe. I think Stewie Lowe took about 7 marks on him in that first quarter.
Here's Anthony Condon for the Hawks with a bounce just inside the boundary line. Up to centre wing. Rose spoils from behind. Taylor. Kelly goes to ground. Ball still there for grabs. Mitchell to Carroll. He's looking for Mitchell again. A centering kick. Minton Connell's had a few chances in this quarter, but Langford's got most of the possessions. He's dragged down after he got rid of it, I thought.
that's a freak.
Unbelievable.
Platten's hand pass to Langford. They're out of trouble anyway, the Hawks. The Gowers haven't had a goal in this quarter as yet. Hall works to the front. Cordy can't take the mark. Brunton's hand pass goes astray. Little kick up by Pritchard. Chance for Jarman. Dishes out the hand pass is beautiful. And an open goal to Allen. First goal to Ben Allen. Their 8th goal scorer.
Yes, Ben Allen, almost a training drill there. Very simple goal kick by Hawthorn. And Jarman again featuring in that passage of play. He's been a very good player this afternoon for the Hawks. Jarman, here he is, very creative, constructive player. And the run provided there from Ben Allen finishes it off with a very simple goal.
Well, Hawthorn stretched the lead to 40 points, and they're finding it very difficult, Sydney, to make any headway. Number of skill errors by Sydney, certainly not helping them. There's Tunbridge. A quick kick to the half-forward line. Mew came over the top. Good play, Anderson. Gets in a quick hand pass. Here's Bays on the left foot. A hurried kick. Minton Connell's got a couple to beat. It's tunnel ball between his legs. Now, here's Paul Cooper. Oh, he didn't even look, but luck's of fortune, Condon was out there, and now they've created space with Pritchard out wide. Darren Pritchard. Oh, they're off and running here, Hawthorn. There's loose men everywhere. Anderson being one of them. Hand pass. Platten. Hawthorn off and running. He'll look for Dunstall. The long kick. A beautiful kick. Dunstall at the back. Oh, Hall almost take it. Dunstall took it, I should say. Again, Taylor hooks it out. Collins can go to Dunstall. Collins on the left foot. Probably should have given a hand pass and kicks it out on the full.
Yeah, the hand pass was on to Dunstall. He would have been on his right foot too, kicking from that left forward pocket.
Kick in by Higgins. Looks for Murphy. Hall.
Strong overhead, Tony Hall. Terrific mark.
In the halcyon days of the Swans in the mid to late 80s, Murphy was taking high marks like that, but that time Hall climbed all over him to mark. Here's John Platten, just outside 50. Might struggle with the distance, but it's not a bad kick. Oh, gee, didn't struggle with the distance at all. Top kick by
Actually, it was a long kick. I didn't think he'd make it then.
2 goals, 1 to Johnny Platten.
Leon Higgins has had a very quiet day. It is a beautiful kick, and that's no exception. He's looking for Cordy, who's strong overhead. He's got backup support from Rose. Now McGovern, 2 former West Australians combining. McGovern in towards half forward. Ayres is there to thump the hands. Allen was grabbed when he didn't have it. No doubt about that one. Free kick to Ben Allen. Now he can bring it to the near side, but he elects to go straight down the centre. Hudson at the back. Tap down Hall, Platten. Danger here because Jarman races in. Oh, look at that for play. Brilliant play, Jarman to Dunstall for a goal. Fantastic. Well, I'll mark it down to Jason Dunstall for his 5th, but really it was Jarman's goal, Bernie.
Oh, he's been magnificent this afternoon, Jarman, featuring in so many set-up goals here for Hawthorn. A quick kick again by Platten. The free kick was going to be paid, advantage paid. He read the play beautifully, Jarman. He's got great skills, just a natural footballer.
That was the class play of the day by Darren Jarman, and the 5th goal to Jason Dunstall. Minton Connell's lost sight of it this quarter, and Langford's having a picnic. His kick to half forward, punched out by Jarman to Pritchard, into a bit of space. Hudson, actually Brunton did well, now Collins. Higgins giving chase. Carroll goes backwards. Brunton, he's happy to see the boundary line there.
Almost deliberate, wasn't it?
Oh, Pete, spoken like a true Hawthorn supporter.
Well, he hit it straight over. I mean, come off, Bertie. He did hit it straight over the line.
Now the Swans out of defence. Kelly, centre of the ground. Awkward one there. Ayres. Backwards he goes to Cooper. He knew he had to do that in a hurry. Jarman again. Hooks the ball in beautifully, and then out to Platten. Great hand pass. Hall off the left, but misses. A goal would have been worthy.
Well, I don't think you'd argue with me, Bernie, that Jarman's the best player in the competition to watch in action. He is brilliant.
Oh, well, he's so constructive, isn't he? He seems to have plenty of time to do whatever he's doing. And the 3 scores this term by Hawthorn, he's featured in every one. The 2 goals that have been kicked, and that hand pass that he shot out again.
Well, a lot of skill between he and his brother Andrew, of course, for the Crows. Enormous amount of skill. It's tapped on to Hudson. That was good play by Pritchard. Hudson trying to get it round the corner. Neil Cordy. Brunton. The chip kick. McGovern. Now they're off and running. David Murphy. A one-on-one again now. He elects to give Minton Connell a miss, and he runs to 60. Minton Connell versus Langford. Good play. Oh, he's marked at Chris Langford. Having a brilliant quarter.
Yeah, he's just well on top now, isn't he, of Minton Connell?
And he's found Collins at half-back.
98 plays 50. 8-goal lead to the Hawks. Ball beats Jarman out of play. Now there's Jarman. He's really covering some ground. There he is at half-back, having set up a goal in this quarter, and earlier on in the game kicked to himself. Morrissey. Lawson. Nettlebeck. But Ayres is there for Hawthorn. Puts the hand pass out in front. Jarman, number 11. A famous jumper worn by Gary Buckenara, who's coaching the Swans, trying to beat the Hawks today. And the number 11, he'll be seeing it in his dreams tonight, I reckon. Tunbridge. The ball out of play.
A couple of very poor hand passes by Tunbridge in this term. That one across half-back, he was fortunate it came back to him. He didn't deserve a second chance, but again, a poor option with the hand pass.
11 minutes remaining to three-quarter time. Mew, clean possession. The kick to the 50. Hall, no mark. Spills off. Brunton. His hand pass astray. And Condon nearly kept it in, and his ball still is in. Taylor. Cordy, one hand not enough. Hudson puts him under pressure, and the Hawks have it on the forward line in the pocket.
Well, Brunton actually doing a fair job on Paul Hudson in this term. Hudson a great first half. Very constructive and instrumental in a number of Hawthorn goals. No free kick there against Johnny Platten. Players racing after it again in that forward pocket. Cleverly done to Condon from Hudson. Then tapped on by Pritchard. Socket off the ground. It's in towards half forward. Murphy trapped it well. Hand pass. Oh, it sets up his teammate here. Oh, he should have tackled. Jarman should have tackled instead of bumping then. I'm sure Alan Joyce will mention that to him as the kick comes out. Centre wing. Still in play. Good play, Nettlebeck. In towards the pocket. Morrissey and Lawson. Morrissey's got on top of Lawson. Still a chance for the Swans. Mew. Cleverly. Ayres. Morrissey. How often have they combined? Over the many years they've played together. Rose again. Mitchell. Here's Carroll. They're getting nowhere though, the Swans. Kelly. Mitchell again. In towards full forward over the back. Gowers very quick. That's a good matchup because Gowers as quick as Kaplan. He tried to go around the boundary line, Gowers, and put it over. But a good matchup that one, Bernie.
He's playing on the wing and very quick to get back and help out in defence again, the Hawthorn winger.
Pretty solidly into the fence then. Mew wins this tap. Condon just inside the boundary line. Lawson losing ground in possession. Carroll on the turn. Short pass is good. And Nettlebeck has been a pretty good forward for the Swans. Has been a handful for Gary Ayres.
He has been good since he came on replacing David Strooper, but the pace of Lawson again is strolling away there from Cooper, getting him into that contest and setting up this chance for a Swans goal.
7 marks and coming up for his 15th disposal. Not a bad day's work for a man who started on the bench.
He's improved a lot, hasn't he, Nettlebeck? Particularly since he got rid of that headband, Bernie.
Craig Nettlebeck from 45 metres out. Gets the distance, but not the accuracy.
Well, I think Gary Buckenara would be very disappointed with this quarter. I think the Swans' quarter has been very poor.
Well, they've had plenty of chances on the forward
Certainly.
line, but Minton Connell, I don't think has had a touch, has he?
Oh, well, that's their first score for the quarter, the Swans.
Well, Langford to Cooper. Oh, he dummied the hand pass. Good play by Paul Cooper, who's keeping Ray Jecky out of the side at the moment. Jecky played in the reserve. Not a bad player to be able to bring back in. Taylor, Allen, the chip pass. Dean Anderson was grabbed. Should have been a free kick to Anderson. Now he gets in a hand pass. Players race at the ball. Carroll smothered off his boot. Oh, almost a throw. Not paid. Higgins to centre wing. Bays. Too quick for Chris Mew.
I think they've had as much of the ball as Hawthorn.
Mark Bays to half forward. Nettlebeck. No mark. Oh, they went without it, and Gary Ayres soccers it off the ground. He's been a good player today.
Well, the two Sydney players spoiled each other again. That was Nettlebeck and the captain, Dennis Carroll. Another mistake. Although Ayres has had his hands full with Nettlebeck since he came on, Pete. He's done pretty well, Nettlebeck, across the half-forward line.
Ball hits the ground. Kelly in after it. And the umpire will ball it up. We have 7 1/4 minutes remaining to three-quarter time. And a margin of 47 points in favour of the Hawks. They've lost 2 out of their last 3 appearances at the SCG. Collins. Kick smothered. Comes back the Swans' way. Mitchell. Mark paid. Took half a step to go on with it. Kicked by Barry Mitchell. Langford gets back on Minton Connell again. This time the full forward's got it.
He's paid the mark. Oh, maybe a bit lucky, Pete. What do you think? It's very dry.
My initial thought was a mark.
The conditions very dry here. I think
Let's have a look.
I don't know whether he controlled that. I don't
really,
think he should have been paid that mark.
No, perfect day.
These conditions, you have to control it a lot more than that.
Well, he's looking to match Dunstall at the other end with 5 goals.
These shots look easy, Drew, but they're not.
Former Tasmanian Simon Minton Connell bangs it through for a goal. Well, it's been a long time between drinks for the Swans.
Yeah, Sydney's first goal for the quarter. They've kicked 1 goal 1, and Hawthorn also struggling to put goals on the board for this in this third term. Hawthorn has only kicked 2 goals 4. There's the mark again, and rather fortunate to be paid that, because I don't think he controlled that ball long enough. But not a bad performance. 5 goals from Minton Connell out of 8 of Sydney's total.
Well, a great contest going on between Langford and Minton Connell. Minton Connell won the first half. Langford has won this quarter. Now here's Morrissey trying to soccer it off the ground. Collins, as usual, working into the packs. Little Lawson, a quick hand pass. Now Condon trying to shuffle it out, ridden into the ground, and the umpire Chris Mitchell will come in and bounce. I think Alan Joyce would be pretty happy though with this performance. It can often come up here and get a real tight, hard struggle against the Swans. Lawrence, big fist, he's dominating the hit-outs. Tony Hall finds Gowers. Gowers will hook it back looking for Dunstall. Out he comes to the pocket, Dunstall, and he has marked. Be a difficult shot though, Bernie.
Yes, right up on the tight against the boundary line there. Wrong side for a right footer. And again, advantaging himself by using the strong hips to take that mark.
Onto the left foot, Dunstall, is this his 6th? Yes, great goal. Well, so predictable that he'd run out onto the left. There's some happy little Hawks supporters. 15-14 Hawthorn. Sydney languishing on 8-9.
Yeah, what a player, Dunstall. With a magnificent full forward. And he, of course, led the AFL goal kicking in 88-89. He's been Hawthorn's leading goal kicker on 4 occasions, and he will do that again in 1992.
Tunbridge out of the middle, but gave it straight to Gowers of Hawthorn. Taylor pushed under the ball by Rose. Oh, one-hand Hall. Brilliant play by Tony Hall to set up Anderson from 35 metres. Top goal. Give the assist to Hall. Anderson on the scoreboard for the first time. 110 plays 57.
Yes, well, there once again, Lawrence, who's been magnificent in the ruck all day for Hawthorn, and the Hawks clearing the ball out of the centre square. Anderson having a spell on the bench. He's been replaced by McGuinness after he kicked that goal. Anderson, he's just shaking his head, can't believe it.
Dean Anderson on the bench after that goal, but I'm sure they're trying to give Scott McGuinness a run, Bernie.
He's possibly it, Pete.
This is his first run for the day. Lawrence very mobile. He's killed him at the centre bounces. Taylor couldn't mark it. Soccer off the ground. Platten working overtime up there. Stevens, hand pass went straight to Gowers. Hudson's there and Scott McGuinness. Good play, Paul Hudson. Now Ben Allen. Little chip pass, back with the flight. Oh, showing courage, Condon. And he has marked. Pretty acute angle.
Put under a fair bit of pressure here too by Murphy. He came in late.
Nearly 50, Bernie.
Oh, would have been a tough decision to give that.
Well, here's the kick by Condon, a shocker, off the side of the boot. Is that a mark? I think it is a mark. Is that Tony Hall? Let's see, it's typical, yeah, typical Hall mark, that wasn't it?
Yep. Yeah, magnificent by Tony Hall. He's very strong overhead, isn't he?
Now, I wonder if he'll do a Dunstall run onto the left foot here. It's probably the smart thing to do. Run onto the left, open up the goals, or he's a South Australian, he might go the old check side. I think he's going to run out on the left foot here. Let's see, out he goes. Opens up the goals, bang on the left foot, and I think that's a goal. Yes, it is. Great kick by Hall, that's his 2nd. And Hawthorn doing it on the bit at the moment. Drew 17-14 to 8-9.
There's Tony Hall, 2 goals to him. And Hawthorn, really, they just press down the accelerator when they need to, and away they go again. And there's so many options up on that forward line. Tony Hall, as Peter McKenna said, just opening up the goal face, getting around on that left boot and kicking a very nice goal.
Now the Hawks are getting motoring. 5 goals 4 for the quarter against the Swans. 1 goal only. Carroll out of the middle for the Swans. Mew meets it head on. Morrissey. Ball was touched, no mark. Ayres. Kick by Ayres to centre half forward. Hall almost again. Stevens, well done. Well, the hand pass was given away to Collins. Dunstall charges at it. Hall has been prominent in the last couple of minutes, but he's decked this time. Dunstall off the ground, out of bounds on the full.
Wasn't that a good tackle there applied by Dunkley on Tony Hall? Magnificent tackle.
Yeah, just ask Jim Steins whether Dunkley's tough or not.
Oh, yeah.
Cleaned him up with the best shirt front for
Did he
years.
ever? Bays now on the back line. They've been forced into that. The Swans, just not enough numbers firing. There's Lawrence flying, couldn't take it. Quick hand pass comes to Jason Taylor. Now Hawthorn away again. This is Condon trying to, cop one round the head. Umpire ignored it. Murphy, look at Platten working. Murphy again. Back it comes to Mitchell. Was that a throw?
Yes.
Yep.
I thought it was. Collins, Hudson should mark and does.
It would have been better had Murphy been able to take that across the boundary line and bringing it back into play.
Hudson looking for an option.
Again, the rucker problem for the Sydney Swans because Rose is now doing the ruck work again. And Tunbridge playing at centre half forward.
Paul Hudson has kicked one but given a few away. He'll kick from 50. And he's hooked it trying to get that extra bit of distance and has put it through for a behind.
Yep, last year he kicked 62 goals, and this year he's just kicked 13, and we're only 2 games short of the halfway mark.
I think Jason Dunstall drew a big chance for the 150 this year. He's averaging 7.6 a game.
Yep, and he's got 6 today with 1.5 minutes plus a quarter to go. Bays. Nettlebeck away from Ayres. 8 marks, good effort. Pokes it up short to Bays. Used to be a groundsman here at the SCG. Mark Bays used to mark out the batting pitch before test matches. Mitchell. Morrissey gives away the hand pass. Now here's a chance. Higgins has been a tagger all day. Can he kick a goal? Hooks it.
Well, they're the opportunities they must make the most of, Sydney, because it wasn't a half chance. It was a real opportunity for Sydney to kick a goal, and he's one of the better kicks in the side.
Langford kicks in about 65 metres. All climb high, but nobody took the mark. Oh, the hand pass comes out the back to Cooper. Now Dunstall a chance. Dunkley punches away. Look at the tackling by the Hawks. Going their way again. Cordy. Dunstall for number 7. Oh, that was a pass.
Oh.
That was brilliant.
Oh, what about that?
Yes, good vision there by Jason Dunstall. He's kicked 6 and he's given a couple away, hasn't he? He gave one to Taylor in the second quarter, and now this one to Tony Hall.
Had a big third quarter, Tony Hall. And kicks his 3rd goal. Well, he's far quicker than I am, Jason Dunstall. I said going for number 7, but he knew more than that. He wasn't going for goal at all. What a perfect pass.
No, well, he went for the percentage play, didn't he? He would have been hard-pressed kicking that one on his left boot. And there we see it again. Great vision. He just popped up in front of the goal square for Tony Hall to take that very simple mark. And the Hawks showing their class now in this 3rd quarter, just running right away from Sydney.
.65 points is the margin. It had been 32 at half-time. Just 7 seconds remaining. Here's Ayres. He's kicked to half forward. Mark here, they might get another goal before the siren. Nope. Stevens tackled high. Forget about it. Siren's gone. It's 3-quarter time here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Hawthorn 18-15, leading Sydney 8-10.
Sydney Swans.
Damon Anthony is the umpire, getting us underway for the last quarter. 123 plays 58. The Hawks well in charge. Higgins. His hand pass is swamped. The umpire will ball it up again.
He doesn't look too fit though, Dale Lewis. He's playing across the half-forward line on Scott McGuinness.
Swans runner out there in the opening minute of this last term. Looks as though he's doing a roving switch between Lawson and Stevens. And we'll have our 3rd ball up at the start of this quarter.
As Lewis back on the ground, has spent a lot of time on the interchange bench after receiving a knee in the back from Chris Langford early in the match.
Have to pay a free kick in a minute to get the ball out of there, and there's one to Platt.
And Lawrence holding his mouth. He received one in that centre, well, that bounce down there. Not too happy about that.
Johnny Platten has been great today. Gets the legs moving out of a bit of a muddy centre. But the kick dropped a little bit short. The mark to Murphy. Nettlebeck now in defence after having a good third quarter, especially in the forward line.
Oh, Lewis, he's very sore. He should come off again, I think, Dale Lewis.
A bit more sore after that one. Here's a mark to Allen at centre wing.
Oh, he's hurt.
He looked very proppy. He shouldn't be back on the ground. They're running out of fit players, though. That's a problem with Sydney.
Well, the umpire paying a shepherding infringement then as Brunton brings it in towards half forward. Over the back was Carroll. Chris Muir a little bit too late on the scene. Barry Mitchell threw it away. Here's Ben Allen receiving from Pritchard. Ben Allen puts it on the ground. Oh, that has to be a free kick. The ball's gone. He's thrown clear.
Yeah, certainly.
Unbelievable. Lawson in towards the pocket. And no mark.
Oh, you've got to pay that.
Did he hold it?
You'd want it if you were wearing...
I tell you what,
Well, let's have a look. Well, we may
even a one-eyed Hawthorn supporter would pay that one.
Well,
Hey, look at this. Minton Connell. One, two, three. Yes.
He didn't.
Oh,
It hit the ground.
come on, Macca. I can't believe you wouldn't pay
Bernie,
that.
the ball hit the ground.
He had 4 goes at it before it hit the ground.
Oh, I tell you what, you said earlier, a dry day, you've got to hang on to
Oh, mate. Lewis coming off anyway.
it. Minton Connell. Well, Lewis is badly hurt. Minton Connell has played a good game and he slams it through for a goal. So, good effort. He's kicked 6 in a losing side. So, great effort by Simon Minton Connell. 9-10 to 18-15.
It has been. 6 out of 9 is a very good performance by any full forward. And there's Lewis, eye supplied to that shoulder. He was having a lot of trouble. He got a heavy knock again. Only minutes into this last term. He was obviously not fit when he came back on the ground. Simon Minton Connell, ex-Carlton player, 6 out of 9. Great performance.
Clean possession, Tunbridge. Mew. Carroll for the Swans. Off the ground by Cooper. Kapler for the Swans. Hudson tackling. Murphy hasn't found the form of old in his return yet. Hall. Bit scrappy, but the Swans still really going for it. And Kelly forces a ball up. Temp is fraying in a little bit here. Barry Mitchell, a feisty little customer.
Well, I think the Swans are trying to lift their work rate, aren't they, and make up for a dismal first 3 quarters. And Dennis Carroll's hurt.
Gee, they'll finish with about 12 men, Sydney.
Lawrence has been magnificent. Lawson, hand pass into the glue pot, allows Platten. Oh, brilliant play, Platten. Pritchard outside. Cooper. Jarman. Oh, there's that balk. Jarman onto the right foot. Chips it in towards full forward. Is that a mark? Or the free kick? He paid the mark. Well, that was no mark. Now, they'll show lack of bias here, Bernie.
Well,
that was no
good,
mark.
Peter. That's very
That's
honest.
what I'm saying. The
very
other one
honest.
was no mark, and neither was that.
Oh, no doubt Minton Connell should have been paid that mark. I disagree with you there.
Well, Tony Hall's got it, and the umpire actually signalled the mark, didn't
Yes,
he?
he did. He did. Indicated a mark. Certainly didn't hold that one.
Well, he's kicked 3, and he'll probably run out to the right here and hook it in. There he goes. Bang. He kicks it. And let's see the goal umpire. It's a point.
Let's have a look at this, Pete. Jarman is that very clever balk of his. And Tony Hall, hands to it.
No mark.
Immediately pushed out by Neil Cordy.
Kick in. Lawson after this. Go, little Henry. Goes back with the hand pass. Up at half-back. Stevens. Caught by Allen and holding the ball.
Strong tackler, Ben Allen, Bernie.
It was a ferocious tackle, wasn't it, by Ben Allen?
He's a former water polo player, so very strong in the upper body.
Kick by Ben Allen. Dunstall. No mark. Carroll, little hand pass across. Murphy. Stevens, an awkward half volley for him. Allen rips it away. McGovern. Back to Kelly. Bit slow, Mitchell, caught by Collins. Now Taylor for the Hawks.
Oh,
Well, they've lost it. Carroll. Kick by Carroll to half forward. Ayres getting back. With Bays. Leaves Mew and Bays inside the 50. A centering kick. Minton Connell. 35 metres out. He balks. Has a shot. Smothered by Mew. Still a chance, Minton Connell. Slaps the ball up the ground. Holmes. Out of bounds on the full.
well, they can go off with it here, Hawthorn. There's the hand pass. Paul Cooper. Oh, look at Jarman. Look at that. That was brilliant. Off he goes. Onto the left foot. Looking for Hudson. Hudson and Kepler. Kepler's had a very quiet game. Hudson kept chasing. Put a bit of pressure on, and Kepler forced to kick it over the line on centre wing.
Yes, and Dennis Carroll definitely not fit also. He missed last week with a hamstring problem. And he hasn't been himself today, hobbling around.
Tunbridge beats Lawrence, which is the reverse of the trend during the game. Mitchell, the hand pass into space. Ayres backs through the pack. Lawrence. Well done by Stephen Lawrence. To the centre of the ground. Great pick-up by Murphy, but not a great handball. Bays inside 50, back to Murphy. He can kick them from here. David Murphy unloads. And Langford rushes it through. 9-11 to 18 goals 16. 18 and a quarter minutes to go in the game. Langford kicks to himself. It's time to have a cut lunch.
Langford will go over the top to Ayres. Well, haven't they played a bit of football together, Ayres and Langford? Now Pritchard has had a great game. Oh, loose men everywhere for Hawthorn. Jamie Morrissey to Platten. Platten will look for Dunstall. Dunstall versus Dunkley. Strength by Dunkley, and coming in to lend a hand was Cordy. Terrific play then by Dunkley to outstrength Dunstall. Cordy getting himself into a bit of hot water here, but he's found McGovern. The chip pass. Brunton can go over the top. Higgins off and running. Leon Higgins to the half forward line. Bays should have too much pace for Chris Mew. Mew kept going though. Did he grab him? Bays playing for the free kick. Knocks it on.
It's a throw, Pete.
And the umpires...
Yeah, good decision.
As a throw.
The crowd don't like it, but he definitely threw it up and then hit it. So the umpire, no option other than to play the free kick.
Free kick by Mew. Oh, good mark again by Court.
Push out.
Push out, yep. Free kick to Hall. Looks for Allen. Might have been another push.
Yep.
It was. Well, the Hawks haven't kicked a goal in this quarter. Here am I talking about Dunstall getting 4 more for double figures, but he's had precious few opportunities, and the Hawks have kicked just 1 behind in this last quarter. The Swans have the only goal. Lawson takes it and streams down the centre corridor. Finds support in Carroll. His left footer in the direction of Minton Connell. Oh, what a mark!
Great mark, wasn't it?
Yes, he outbodied one of the strongest fullbacks in the competition there in Chris Langford. Minton Connell. Well, I suppose Carlton had to fight hard to get Greg Williams, but I'm sure Minton Connell would be a walk-up start in this Carlton side playing at full forward. Condon off for Hawthorn, and Paul Deere coming back on for a run.
Coming up for his 7th goal. Well done. Playing just his 3rd game for the Swans. Injured in the first game of the season. Having his best haul for his new colours.
Well done by the little bloke there, Drew. Jamie Lawson. Should have been a punch away there from Morrissey. The skipper Carroll on the left boot. And nearly got away, but just sticking that right hand out. I saw him perform like this against Footscray a few years ago. Kicked a big bag of goals in that total.
Well, an excellent performance this by Simon Minton Connell to kick 7 in a losing side out of 10. Magnificent performance against the state full-back. Could have been a trip to the Swans then against Andrew Collins. Bedell and Joyce wouldn't be happy. They'd be looking for a bit of percentage. Hawthorn, they've got the Swans down and out. A real chance to catch up a bit of percentage on Geelong. Paul Deere back on the ground, goes for the thump. Pritchard, it's held in, and it will be probably a throw-up. I doubt whether Chris Mitchell will attempt to bounce it there. Well, let's see. Yes, must be harder than it looks. Was tapped back by Lawrence. Hurry kick was by Cooper. Now it's Ben Allen looking for Dunstall. Dunstall and Hudson. Well played, Hudson to Dunstall. Brilliant play. Dunstall round the corner goes the champion full forward, and he has missed. I think he felt it was a goal, Jason Dunstall. He can't believe it. He's talking to the field umpire. He really thought it was a goal. Still, it's only behind on the board. And Hawks yet to score a goal in this term.
Cordy again. Lawrence flies, no mark. Airs for Hawthorn. Cooper unloads with a big torp. Dunstall.
Gee, strong Dudley.
He's done very well. And through for a behind of Cooper. It's his first score. So still the Hawks looking for their first goal in this last quarter, and about the 12-minute mark. Cordy straight up the middle. Lawrence climbs again. Once again doesn't come down with the ball. Carroll's hand pass to Mitchell. He balks one and then puts it out in front. Good play, Nettlebeck. Oh, good running by Stevens. He might get his first goal in league football. Well, he probably should have.
Yes, big opportunity there for Stevens. He's kicked 2 behinds for the afternoon.
That's a couple of times he's hurried kicks too, Bernie.
Well, probably inexperience showing there, Pete.
Dead right. As we see Langford to the half-back line, it's all Swans. That's a mark to Nettlebeck. Paul Dew has had a very quiet game.
Just about in double figures in marks, Nettlebeck.
Well, Hawthorn are really stopped at the moment. Alan Joyce would not be happy as Pritchard just waited back. He could have spoiled that mark.
Yes, it wasn't a great pass, was it?
Well, the kick in towards the pocket. Langford over the back, but it eludes his outstretched punch. And over the line.
There again, I think Mitten Connell leading probably to the wrong pocket there. Rather should have gone up the corridor.
Nettlebeck in ruck to Mitchell. Oh, great goal. Great goal. Barry Mitchell gets his first goal, and the Swans have done all the goal scoring in this last quarter.
Here's what Gary Buckenara getting what he requested at three-quarter time with his address. And the Swans have really given it a good go in this final term. You see a freakish goal there kicked by the leading possession gatherer in the AFL, Barry Mitchell. And he's done that on a number of occasions over the last few years, being the leading possession gatherer.
Well, the Swans mounting some sort of a challenge. At least they've got a bit of pride. Been well on top in this quarter. Socket off the ground by Anderson, but I do suspect Hawthorn are sitting back a little bit. I feel their players not with the same urgency as they had earlier. Certainly a couple of passes there that they could have intercepted. Half forward for Hawthorn.
They're pretty good at not playing premiership football in May, aren't they, the Hawks?
Oh, that should have been a free kick to Taylor, who was grabbed in that ruck duel. This will be a bounce.
They play it in September. That's when you've got to play it.
Well, most years they've had a quiet patch at some stage, haven't they, when everyone's written them off, but they keep bouncing back. And they've got too much talent to ride off. Or Taylor again appealing for the free kick. Here's Carroll. Kapler. Swans off and running again in towards half forward. Bays, good mark. He'll just about kick this from there. He's got Nettlebeck to go to, and he's found him. Nettlebeck about 30 metres from goal, 45-degree angle.
They've certainly lifted, haven't they, in this last term? And Hawthorn with a huge lead at three-quarter time, 65 points. The Swans have found some space in this last quarter.
Craig Nettlebeck's played very, very well. Look at that, 10 marks since coming on the ground, and he's created a few problems across half forward for Hawthorn. Formerly a full-back. Here's the kick, a beautiful kick by Nettlebeck for a goal. So that's 2 to Craig Nettlebeck, and they've moved their score, Sydney, on to 12-12. Hawthorn remaining stagnant at the moment, 18-18.
So, well, a good quarter, as I said, for the Sydney Swans. They've kicked 4 goals, 1 for the quarter, and producing some good running play with Kapler now playing across the half-back line on Hudson. And if he gets the opportunity, he certainly scoots away from that half-back line. Good play by Bays, spotting Nettlebeck out there by himself.
possibly the best crowd in Sydney this year, 12,217. Watching last year's Premier's Hawthorn. They go forward. Gowers off the ground. Kapler charges after it. The whistle's gone. A free kick to Gowers. The Victorian State squad has been pretty quiet, I would have thought, today. From inside the centre square. Wobbles it. Not a great looking kick. Tunbridge takes the mark. Oh, they're out of trouble eventually. Dunkley.
I get worried by some of Tunbridge's hand passes. Another bad option there, hand passing to a player under pressure.
Three players in the WA squad playing here today. Two for the Swans, Tunbridge and McGovern, and one for Hawthorn, Allen. A couple of Victorians, Collins and Gowers, as well as Langford. And then Bays and Mitchell playing for the Swans. So 5 members of the Victorian squad. And from our look at them, it looks as though they've come through unscathed. So Mal Brown and Ted Whitten can breathe a sigh of relief. Deere. Morrissey. Kick smothered. Pritchard didn't attempt the mark. It wouldn't have been paid. Kapler on the run. His wrong kicking foot. Holmes punches back straight to the arms of... That was a good play. Eventually went to Brunton. Now they've lost it. Pritchard. Just not going hard at the ball. They're waiting a bit, perhaps, Hawthorn. Goalless in this last quarter. Centre. Dunstall can't take the mark. Lawson's got it. Good hand pass. McGovern tried to find Lawson again. Collins got in there. Good tackle on Hall, but he shrugged it. No, he's holding it, says the umpire. Holding the ball.
Yeah, well worked by Sydney. They're working hard in defence, keeping Hawthorn out in this last quarter.
Here's Mitchell. To half forward, Ayres will wait at the back. New went for the hit on. Well played, Ayres. Platten shuffles it back. This is Scott McGuinness racing to centre wing, and that's a better kick. The left foot sweeping kick in towards full forward. The Hawthorn players have just stopped running and working, and Alan Joyce will be furious, I'd say. Paul Cooper punches it down to Lawrence. He went without it. Higgins caught with the ball. That's holding the ball.
Well, this last quarter you would have expected Hawthorn to really work hard. The opportunity there to kick a lot of goals in these perfect conditions. Well, especially Dunstall and the rest of the forwards, they'd be looking for a lot of goals in the last quarter.
Dunstall and Dunkley. Oh, he nearly took it, Dunstall, but full marks to Dunkley. He's on one of the strongest forwards in the league, and he's done fairly well.
Hawthorn's goal calls, quarter by quarter, 3, 9 and 6. So you would expect them to be running amok by now. Dunkley in the back pocket. Off the left boot. One chance for the Swans here against 3 Hawks. And they've lost it. Pritchard, he's got Platten. Gave the handball too early. Back to Pritchard. Oh, terrific stuff. Anderson. He centres. Dunstall has a run at them. Back of the pack. Punch forward by Taylor. Off the ground. Hudson. Into the post. One goal, 3 for Paul Hudson, who was the cousin of Simon Minton-Connell. At the other end, Minton-Connell has kicked, what is he up to now? 8. And Hudson's got 1.
Jarman again. Played a great game, Darren Jarman. Now he's an enormous kick. Look at that, 60-metre drop punt. Dunstall should mark this one. Oh, tremendous play, Dunkley. Fantastic play, getting the pats on the back from Tunbridge. He outstrength Dunstall again, Bernie.
Yes, he's done particularly well, actually, Dunkley.
You give a vote to a bloke who's had 6 goals kicked on him. He has done well.
Well, a terrific effort. He's kept at it all day on a champion full forward. Socket off the ground. Here's Pritchard and Stevens. Determination by young Stevens, playing his first game. Oh, over the head of Higgins. Here's Ayres. Jarman again, can go over the top again. This is Hudson. Should have given it back quickly to Jarman. Kapler. Carroll. Carroll has it smothered off the boot. Mew. Too quick for Mew. Bays running away from Gary Ayres now. Bays will look for Minton-Connell. Out in front of Langford. Langford put the pressure on. That allowed Scott McGuinness to give it to Ayres.
Well, if you arrived late, you'd think the Swans were winning this game by about 44 points instead of the other way around. Deere at centre wing after the kick by Gowers. Tunbridge is back there to take the mark for the Swans. Kelly. contest at centre wing. McGuinness. Hudson in front. Spoil from behind. Kelly tunnels the ball. Bernie thought it might have been a bit of a throw. The hand pass.
Been a scoop, Drew.
Mitchell to Carroll. Higgins enjoying a bit of freedom now. One out is Minton Connell. He's got it again. Play on this time. Tries to tunnel it through Morrissey's legs. Langford. Swans fans wanted a mark then, naturally. Stevens hand pass to Higgins. He tries to get around. Oh, the ruckman Lawrence got him. Here's Mitchell. Showed some courage then. Jarman, a great little hand pass to Anderson.
Yes, brilliant play, Jarman. Anderson. Hall's got a couple to beat. He's in front, though, as usual. Pritchard, where's Dunstall? Dunstall hovers back. Dunkley again. Tremendous play by Andrew Dunkley. Beautiful kick to Brunton. Well, full marks to that fullback. Terrific effort. Here's Morrissey and Collins. No mark. Oh.
Mark?
Well, he had his hands on it a little bit, but definitely no mark.
You must be joking.
No mark.
Well, he's given it to Nettlebeck. What for? I've got no idea. As the kick comes across to Stevens. Well, it's right in front of us, Drew. What do you say?
It would be nice if these blokes were umpiring when we played, Pete, wouldn't it?
Well, in it comes to half forward.
Well, you wouldn't want to be given out at cricket for that one, would you? You'd throw the bat at the umpire.
Oh, the mark is, I should say, gives it to McGuinness. Now Mew. Now McGuinness. He might go inside here to Platten. That was very good vision to the little rover. Off he goes. Now the contest is on again. Poor kick, Platten. Shocking kick straight to Tunbridge because Dunstall had made the lead.
He's playing the Gary Dempsey role, Tunbridge, in this last quarter. Back there marking uncontested in the back line. Oh, Pritchard's going to get this. Outnumbered 2-1. He got it all right, but he wasn't in the field of play when he got it.
That was meant for Kepler, so a poor kick there from Tunbridge. He had 20 metres, 30 metres in the clear, Kepler, and he still couldn't spot him.
Under 5 minutes remaining. Would you believe Hawthorn still haven't goal in the last quarter? Here's Dunkley again. Dunstall, 6 goals. Deere, well, Morrissey spoiled his teammate. Anderson for Hawthorn. Short pass, looking for Pritchard. It's wide and out on the full. McGovern takes it quickly for the Swans. Not a bad kick. Mitchell, not too sure what to do, but beats the park. Kick by Mitchell, centre of the ground. Murphy. A hand pass behind Lawson. He's given it away, Murphy. Lawrence, a clever deflection. Lawson back there for the tackle and a backhander. Kelly. Taylor did well. In the direction of Jarman, who marks just outside the 50. Well, players leading everywhere. It's going in Pritchard's direction.
Still without the boot.
He's only got one boot on. Kicks it with his right boot and goals. Hawthorn's first for the last quarter.
Well, poor manning up again there by the Sydney Swans because Pritchard was 40 metres clear. And Pritchard, who's a very hard-working winger, moves up and down the ground very quickly. Got well away from his opponent there and was able to kick his second goal. He kicked one in the second quarter.
Well, Alan Joyce will be happy. At least they've kicked one for the term. It's been a very ordinary quarter by Hawthorn. There's Collins, though. They might finish with a flourish. Taylor to Platten. There's the lead. Oh, and again, Dunkley, a magnificent performance.
Well, he's been able to work his way to the front, hasn't he, Pete, in these last few contests? Dunkley, and he's done very well. Dunstall
not moving as quickly as he normally does on those leads either. Just wonder.
Reckon that heel might be...
Well, you just wonder about here's his chance. He's got it. A quick kick, and that's bad luck to young Dunkley because the quick kick by Collins and Dunstall playing in front of snaffled it. He'll kick for his 7th. But there he is, Andrew Dunkley. Full marks to him.
It's been a good performance by Dunkley up against the class full forward in the competition.
And yet, after the game, he's going to look and see that he's had 7 goals kicked against him, possibly, as Dunstall lines up for his 7th. Kicks, lays back, and has goal. So 7 goals to both full forwards, Jason Dunstall and Simon Minton-Connell.
So that takes Dunstall to 68 goals for the season, keeping up his average of 7 goals a game. Just bad luck there for Dunkley. Just caught out with that quick kick from Andrew Collins. But he's a class player. Any other player kicks 7 goals, you'd say, gee, he's had a great afternoon, and yet we're saying Dunkley's played a great game on a player who's kicked 7 goals.
And here we have a competition with its origins in Victoria. We're playing in Sydney, and the 2 leading goal kickers come from Queensland and Tasmania. Tunbridge. Well, neither ruckman touched that one. Jarman, little one out of there. Mitchell for the Swans. Platten. Mitchell grabbed him before Platten had the ball. Free kick, John Platten.
2 pretty good rovers there on screen, Drew.
I'll say. Barry Mitchell won the E.J. Whitten medal last year in the state game against Western Australia. And he's in line to play again on Tuesday night. But he's been subdued today by Platten. Anderson's kick is marked by Hall. What fantastic hands, Tony Hall.
Well, this is a perfect day for the high markers here, though, Drew. A little bit of mud sticks on the ball, makes it easy to hold that ball. And the centre square, after a couple of ordinary days up here in Sydney, a little bit gluey. The ball that the mud that clings to the ball just makes it so much easier to mark.
Ball kicks his 4th. Three of them after half-time. A minute and a half left, and the Hawks have got rolling at last and have kicked 3 goals probably in the last 3 or 4 minutes.
There's 4 goals, 2 to Tony Hall now. One of the many options on the Hawthorn forward line. Dean Anderson kicking into the forward line. He just caught in front there, disadvantage because the player behind just able to nudge him out, that player being Tony Hall.
Back to the centre, Paul Deere giving Lawrence a bit of a breather. Tried the backhanded knock-on, socket off the ground by Kelly. Mark taken by Nettlebeck. Been a good player, Craig Nettlebeck. Langford, that's not a good sign. Chris Langford. Yes, I don't like that with a fullback. Do you, Bernie?
No, it really gives the full forward an opportunity to go either way, and it makes it very difficult when you cannot see where the ball is coming from.
Craig Nettlebeck. It's kick 2. Beautiful long kick. Just offline and through for a behind.
That's 2 goals, 3 to Craig Nettlebeck. He came on halfway through that first quarter when Strooper received that heavy knock to his back.
So Langford kicks in. About 40 seconds remaining in the game. Collins for Hawthorn shrugs a tackle of Mitchell. He's going to get a free kick. A high tackle.
He's going to play the advantage, and then he saw he's going to be caught and let him go back and take it.
Ayres offers him something out here at half-back flank. No, Mark, he took it on the bounce, and the Swans tried to rip it off him. And then the crowd yelling out, well, he's got to be holding the ball then. The umpire's going to ball it up.
Let's have a look at that again. Gary Ayres believed he took that mark, and I believe he took it also.
So do I.
I don't think that was a half volley.
Actually, the Swans didn't lay a tackle on him, though, just trying to rip the ball off, otherwise they might have got the free. Free kick to Deere. His kick to half forward. And that is it. Full time here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. A big win to the Hawks, although they were less than convincing in the last quarter when they had the Swans buried. And the Swans at least did fight it out after Gary Buckenara almost gave them up at 3/4 time. Jason Dunstall at one end kicks 7 goals, 7-3. Dennis Carroll losing captain here today for the Sydney Swans. And at the other end from Dunstall, Simon Minton-Connell kicked 7 goals too. And there he goes. So great day for the 2 full forwards. Minton-Connell playing just his 3rd game for the season. Tunbridge trudges off. He came good in the last quarter, although Lawrence beat him for 3/4 of the game. And the Hawks go away with the points, but I don't know that the coach will be universally patting them on the back when they go into the rooms, because at 18 goals, 15 to 3/4 time, they might have maybe kicked 10 in the last quarter, but they kicked 3 goals, 5. The crowd saw it, 12,000 people here at the Sydney Cricket Ground, and the crowds haven't been that good all season. And the Hawks will be happy they got the points. And Cameron Williams is down there with Stephen Lawrence, who had a great day in the ruck and started things in motion out of the centre square. And here he is with Cameron.
Yes, he certainly did. The Swans, the Hawks launched raid after raid, and it all started with you, Stephen. Great game.
Thanks a lot.
How did you feel going into that last quarter there where you were goalless for a long time? It was a little bit lacklustre, do you think?
The last quarter?
Yeah.
Well, no, I think we played well most of the day, and we got a bit tired towards the end, but I think we worked hard and we deserved to win.
Was there much made by Alan Joyce before this game, the fact that you haven't played well against the Swans the last couple of times you met? This ground has been a hoodoo for a season or so.
Well, we did win last time. He did mention that we find it difficult to travel up, and there's a few difficulties which aren't there when you're playing at Waverley, for example. But it didn't make too much of a big deal about it. I think we just had to play on our own merits, and we thought we could beat Sydney, and we did.
Good luck against Footscray.
Thanks a lot.
So the Hawks have now won 4 in a row, and they're on a roll. They've won here by 61 points today, 21-20, 146 to 12-13, 85.